Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Friday night, our favorite night of the... Well, I don't know if it's our favorite night of the week. It's our favorite show of the week, that's for sure.
Basically open lines. Anything you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, we can just
talk about it.
We can just get drunk and silly, and I don't have to worry about following my notes.
Beginning of the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here restarting my damn tablet. It was buffering, going slow.
He's having some problems.
Next week's going to be a hell of a week. We got to go to the Lion Country Safari or wherever that is. What's it called?
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
We're going to Animal Kingdom on Thursday.
Yeah.
Because my sister is coming down.
Yeah.
She's coming down this weekend. And she's doing all the parks like on different days, and I was like, let's do Animal Kingdom because Thursday's a good day for me because I don't usually have meetings or we don't have a show and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and then Saturday is
and then Friday's Halloween.
Friday's Halloween, obviously. And we got to do a show.
Got to do a show, and then we got to go to a Halloween party after the show, so we got to do the costumes. You guys will see the costumes. That'll be good.
And then Saturday, the regular night, which I'll probably I might go as my costume anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Because I think that Barbarella is having... I don't know if they're having a Halloween party at the Trap or not. Because Friday night... I don't know. I'd have to look and see what they were doing. I know that Mannequins is having one, of course, because they usually have one. But that's their goth night anyway. Yeah. Friday night, so... But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think it's gonna be fun.
If you hear any noise, we got my guy down there working in
the kitchen. Guy is here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have power.
So if you hear drills and shit,
I'm gonna have power, and he's hooking up the sink. So I'm gonna have water. So the kitchen will be fully functional. I'll have the damn dishwasher hooked up and everything. We were having to wash dishes by hand.
Yeah,
and no water in the kitchen. We had to go to the fucking...
In the sink in the laundry room. Like, we had to wash dishes in there.
So we did a lot of ordering out.
Yeah.
Some stuff he made in there. But
well, yeah, because he was here working today, so we just went down to McDonald's and ate.
Yeah, to put the new floor in. Floor of the kitchen looks good. It's a whole fucking professional kitchen.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good.
House is going to be appraised a lot higher when the time comes. If we sell.
I hope so.
Yeah, if we sell. But that kitchen's going to be good enough to where, if I want to, I'll be able to do a cooking show out of there. I was thinking about doing a cooking show.
I know we talked about this because remember for a little while, we did like a food show. I can't remember what it's called. They're still up there somewhere if you look for them. They're in their own playlist. Yeah. We didn't do that many because we kind of ran out of stuff and it was just, there was so much other stuff we were doing. Yeah. But, Tom's like, well, now we have the new kitchen almost done. It's like, wow, we could probably do like a cooking show in there, which a lot of y'all have asked about. Yeah. Like over the years.
If I do a cooking show, that cooking show is just going to be nothing but one big fucking serious gay fucking thirst trap. I'm gonna be shirtless cooking with an apron and shit and fucking titties and everything.
Are you gonna wear your underwear? What are those underwear that you have called? Why did I just forget it?
I don't know.
What is those underwear called that you have?
Jockstrap? I don't know. What are you talking about?
No, the underwear that you have, that brand.
Oh, I forgot.
Shit, it says it right across the back. Yeah. Why can't I remember?
Oh, Jogmail.
Jogmail, there you go.
Jogmail, yeah. Gay as shit.
Yeah, they're very gay.
They look good, though.
They do look good.
Yeah, they're just regular boxers and shit.
Yeah, it's mostly regular. Like now, you can get crazy ones.
You can get crazy shit, yeah. The
ones they got crazy ones.
Most of the ones I get just look kind of like tight fucking boxing shorts or just, gym shorts.
Or just regular, yeah. And they're usually just red or black.
Yeah, they got cool trim on them and stuff, black and white.
But
black and red.
Like I said, they have crazy ones, like with crazy colors and elephant trunks on the front and stuff like that. If you're into that. Yeah. But he just gets the regular kind. Yeah. But yeah, you should get like a sexy, like a leather apron.
I should just get those fucking. I should just get those fucking booty shorts, right?
And just wear booty shorts and
a chaps. Chaps and some boots.
And just
cooking that shit.
And just cooking that.
Yeah, and joke the whole time.
That would be funny
and teach people how to eat large out of fucking dollar store.
We thought that would be good because I actually find channels like that because there's several of those and it's just gonna get more relevant as groceries get more expensive. So
get poorer and poorer. Yeah.
So they're actually like fulfilling a need, saying it's like, hey, here's how you can eat good and eat healthy and eat delicious food. Yeah. Just out of Dollar General, like get this, and this, and then mix these together, and for cheap,
Yeah,
but
you can.
Yeah, you can. It's just a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Yeah, a lot of people will buy shit that's made out of corn or flour. A lot of heavy and carbohydrates. Like I'm gonna get all this ramen. I'm gonna get all that fucking a whole bunch of macaroni and cheese. Yeah, you can. That's cheap. You'll get fat on that. There's no protein in that.
I mean, ramen is good. I like ramen every now and then, but it is very, 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 very
bad for you.
High in calories.
Very high calorie. It has no nutritional value.
And it's very high in sodium also.
Yeah, it's real salty.
It's not going to hurt you if you eat it every now and then.
It's just raw energy calories. You might as well eat a bowl of sugar. But there's nothing nutritional about that. You know what I mean? Like if I were to eat that, I'd slowly starve. I'd fucking lose a bunch of muscle mass.
Well, that's why I think
if fat, what would happen.
If you're gonna eat ramen, don't just eat ramen just right out the package. You got to put stuff in it. You got to put meat and vegetables.
It's just a carrier. It's just
stuff
filler.
like that. Yeah.
It's just filler. That's all it is.
Which is what they mostly do with the good ramen.
Yeah.
You just put other things in.
You can't eat that all the time. You can eat it every once in a while, but you're better off, and you would be much more healthy. You say, fuck that ramen. Just give me that can of Spam, and I'll make that last all day. There's far more nutrition in that.
Yeah.
The World War II U.S. Army ran off of cans of Spam and Velveeta type cheese and crackers. That's what they ate. They ate that shit for fucking years. But it's very high in protein. People think that so-called fake cheese or that American cheese is bad for you. It's not. It's damn pure whey protein, pretty much.
Yeah, it's the same thing bodybuilders eat.
Same thing we drink out of drink shakes.
And it tastes a lot better.
Yeah, and you could put that in ramen and you could get some protein out of it. It's whey protein. It's not as good as animal protein, but people are paying $50 for a big old thing of fucking protein powder shake. Don't do it. It's a ripoff.
Just eat Velveeta, yo.
$50 $50 worth of Spam is far better for you than $50 worth of that protein powder. Yeah. Fuck that shit.
I was gonna say too that when we make on the rare occasions we make ramen, we usually put mixed veg, like broccoli and baby corn and stuff like that, and also hard-boiled eggs. We just put hard-boiled eggs in it, and sometimes thinly sliced pork.
You can do it. It's just that you have to understand that the ramen is filler. It's just to make you feel, and you do have some, caloric energy in it, but it's not good for you, really.
No.
Especially if you're Caucasian or black, because we don't have the proper genetic structure to turn that into anything, And Asian can probably do it. They got the proper genetics to break rice down into something that their body can use. A white person can't. People think that, we're all the same. No, we're not. No, the Asians, because they came selectively bred out of empires based upon making rice for thousands of years, all the people that couldn't digest that properly died off slowly over time. They have the proper insulin production to fucking turn that into an energy source and a food. That's why they're not so fat.
They don't get fat on it like us honky motherfuckers.
They have really good insulin response when it comes to things like rice. Not so much wheat, evidently. Evidently, they get fat off wheat. They're not quite tuned for that.
Well, it didn't.
They didn't evolve alongside it.
They didn't evolve alongside it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can adapt to it, but it takes a long time.
Mm-hmm. Generations.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Diabetes wipes you out of the gene pool.
Yeah.
And your descendants over time have less and less diabetic tendencies and a better insulin response. That's why white Southerners and black Southerners have so much bad diabetes, is because they changed a lot of the diet down here. A lot of it's based on corn fucking syrup and shit. And our bodies can't really, it doesn't have a good insulin response to it. Fucking my dad basically died of diabetes. because of what he'd been eating.
My grandpa had diabetes also. He didn't die of that, but he had a bunch of other things too.
The underlying cause
he also had emphysema and a brain tumor. And...
For rednecks that die of southern rednecks, they're all fucking Scotch-Irish is what you call it. That's our ethnic group. And black people also are kind of interrelated with us. You know, they have some of our genes. And Africans aren't really built for that either, just even to begin with. We get bad diabetes if you put a bunch of ramen and noodles and fucking corn syrup and fucking, you know, anything basic. You're going to get diabetes. And diabetes will be, especially if you're eating a lot of it from an early age, and diabetes will be an underlying problem that other problems... From that underlying problem, your health suffers.
Yeah, diabetes causes a lot of...
But it was the diabetes really that opened
effect.
me up. Diabetes opened my dad up to all kinds of fucking cancers. He had a couple cancers going when he died.
Got a couple cancers going. That was just funny the way you put that.
He had, he was smoking his ass off too.
Yeah, my grandpa did also.
Real bad high blood pressure, diabetes, fucking glaucoma. Diabetes weakened him and other things just ravaged him. And eventually his heart gave up. He had all these bypasses and shit. And
he wasn't even overweight.
No, he's skinny.
He was actually skinny.
Skinny. He couldn't maintain body weight because his fucking metabolism was just fucking shot. He was fighting so many things at once.
So he didn't have... I mean, a lot of older Americans, especially like boomer age and stuff like that, are definitely like have weight problems.
Well, he got a little chubby for a while in his 40s and 50s. But then when the diabetes really started ravaging him, he just... And
yeah, because it seems like when you get diabetes, you either pork out or you get real fucking skinny. Like you can't keep any food down.
Yeah, he was the size of a child when I saw him.
Yeah, because I
lost all of his
I only
mass.
met your dad in person one time. Like he came to our house for Thanksgiving one year, and that was the only time I'd seen him. And he's a little dude.
Little like a little child.
Yeah, he's a little dude.
Yep.
I was surprised. I mean, you had told me that he was.
Yeah, he wasn't that size when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
You know, he just got smaller. That's why I feel like, you know, when I started getting real skinny in my 40s and shit, tried to get in the gym and working out, there's no response. I said, fuck this shit. So I went right on and started injecting testosterone, and a lot of that shit just came right back. Yeah. That's why. I'm fucking working with a guy right now, and know him from the club. He's got his first shipment of fucking good shit in. You know, the secret sauce. Testosterone and fucking Equipose blend. He's going to go on that now. And he's like, oh, dang, it's much cheaper than he's used to. But his insurance was paying for his testosterone. So you didn't have to go through a clinic like I did. I didn't have the insurance, and VA wouldn't pay for me. And I was just like, man, that clinic wanted $200 a month out of me. For half that price, I could get 5 times the amount on the black market.
If you know where to get it.
If you know how to get it and fucking how to use cryptocurrency, you get really good shit.
Get whatever you want.
And over time, I'm following in with people that know how to make it out of fucking raw materials that they can get from overseas, and they save even more money. But you know, I know how it's done and everything, and I had to see, you know, exactly what they're doing, make sure everything's up and up. Some of it I could probably make. Because
you might want to get into that one of these days.
You're just heating up oils and adding pre-made powders to it, and then you have to add a certain kind of, and the measurements all have to be right, and then you have to add a special kind of alcohol to it, and it's a special kind of seed oil that you use. And then everything has to be sterilized, and then you get the bottles, and you have to make sure the bottles are all clean. You cook them at the right temperatures and shit, and they have to be steamed and alcohol rinsed, and then you can put all that shit together for a fraction, you know, $400 worth of shit would make thousands and thousands of
Yeah, it's a big initial outlay, but like you'd save a lot of money in the long run.
Wow. But the next thing you know, you run a laboratory in your house.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that, you know what I mean? And then I couldn't move all that stuff. I would just have to use it.
Yeah. I guess you could probably sell some of it, but...
Yeah. I can learn how to do it from them.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the information's out there. You can teach yourself to do anything you want.
Yeah, and the dude that's doing it, the dude is talking about it and everything. There's a buddy of mine I know from the club and shit. He's my size, maybe a little bit bigger. When I first saw the dude, I was fucking intimidated. Turned out he's a chick.
Or was.
He was a chick. You would never know now. Never know. I'll show you a picture of him one of these days. Maybe I'll have him on the show. He's gonna come out. He says he's gonna
He was out last Saturday.
Yeah, no, I mean he's gonna let people know.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah,
I thought
he's gonna let people know
at the club. I was like,
he's not.
He was out last Saturday.
Yeah, this dude's fucking fierce. I wouldn't want to fight him. And when he started coming out, I thought he was telling me that he was gay, had a crush on me. He's like, no, it turned out no. He was telling me that he's a girl. I was like, oh, I didn't know. He goes, yeah.
Well, like I said, I can understand why he didn't want to tell anybody because it's like you don't know how people are going to react. But honestly, in the goth scene, 99.99% people are not going to care at all. They'll just be like, okay, you know,
yeah,
don't worry about it. It probably wouldn't even shock people, honestly. Probably. Like,
I'm gonna show a picture.
Oh, no, don't do that.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think the dude from downstairs is calling you.
Yeah.
Like the kitchen guy.
Let me see.
Is calling you. I probably need to get another drink already. Goddamn. I started the. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing down there. Well, they had to pull out the island. We had an island that was like shaped like not like an L, but it was kind of like a diagonal L. Is that a shape? I don't know. And it's just like straight like that, and then like that, and then that's where the dishwasher was, and that's where the sink was, and they pulled that out and just put in a big rectangular area, and then put the sink in that and the dishwasher back in that. But they had to redo some of the floor because they had to pull all the tile out where that was. So it's almost done. I mean, it's taken a long time because, like I said, the guy could only come every weekend, and actually he didn't come last weekend because he was out of town.
Yeah, he's got his son with him. He got his little boy with him.
Yeah, I thought I heard a kid. Yeah, I thought I heard a kid voice down there.
Yeah. He's playing with Beijing. Beijing loves him. Beijing sits there, that's him. He's just
really. Yeah. Beijing's usually so cranky.
I think he's about 8, little boy.
Beijing loves attention. I mean, she's like, I'm just so glad that someone is acknowledging my princess status. You know what I mean? She is a total princess.
He's getting ready to leave.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, he got here at early this morning because I got up at a little before 7, and I was making coffee, and I think I heard him. You know, I heard him at like fucking 7:30 or something.
We don't have water hooked up. That'll probably be tomorrow.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. Stu gave us a super chat. Thank you very much. How was your day, Tom and Jen, and what's up? Pretty good. It was a pretty.
She was just working.
Yeah, it was just slow. And honestly, usually, not always, because it kind of depends, but usually it kind of slows down because the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, are usually like a shit show, and I'm like jumping out my own asshole, like. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do 50 million other things. But usually I try to get caught up by the end of the week. You never know though, because yesterday it was kind of slow, but then like one of our clients was kind of like, oh, I'm doing a presentation in 2 hours and I need a pitch deck and I need this PDF of like and all this other, and I was like, oh my god, seriously? But I got it done though. You know what I mean? I always get it done. Even though I stress and pull my hair out and shit like that, it does usually get done. I try to calm myself down, but it doesn't always work. You know how I do. You know how I do. I just panic. I just panic. Because I always think, oh, I'm never going to get this done. I'm never going to get this done. But I almost always do. Sometimes it takes slightly longer than I thought it would. But I made something for Ilya, too, from A Starry Night. He's been doing these house parties, like, once a month, I guess. And he always wants these flyers for them that look like a 70s era comic book. And this is the one for November, and he wanted one of like something that looked like the Amityville house kind of. So I made like an Amityville house with like red light coming out of the windows and a little ghosty coming out and shit like that. And it kind of looks like the front of a comic book. So I thought it came out pretty cool, actually. Let's see. CB said, Pook will attack them if the food bowl is touched. Yeah, they were freaked out at first that all the dudes were in here. Not all the dudes. It's usually one dude and sometimes it's another.
There was 2 in here.
Yes, sometimes it's another. Yeah, like I said, they got here early.
The floor guys were in here. That's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Jen was up here the whole time. She didn't really see what was going on.
Yeah, I saw them out the window when I was in the gym this morning. But, like, kind of going in and out. But, yeah, so, yeah, I usually stay up here working, so I don't usually see them. I hear them for sure, but, you know what I mean? But I usually have shit to do up here. But the kiddies, they didn't like it at first. Like, they're like, who are all these people? Why is all this crap piled everywhere? And they would, like, hide under the bed and stuff. But now, it's like they're so used to every few days, like, strange people coming in and out. They're just like, whatever.
Klaus is in. Tanya's in.
Yeah, they're all here.
Bee's nest.
Let me see. Where? Oh.
John Gora says that he prefers skinny girls, not muscle maxed out ones. No, but this is a dude. I had no idea that this was a biological female. I first saw him, and he was kind of orbiting around, just when I first noticed him. And fucking, I kept looking, and I was going, is this motherfucker trying to fight me? What the hell's going on here, So to just kind of liven it up, I was coming in the restroom, and he was coming out, and I says, you're looking great, man. You're looking good. We're like checking his arms out. Yeah. And he was like, yeah. So you lifting? Yeah. How long have you been lifting? For years now. About this and that. So it kind of...
You started bonding.
Yeah, so it kind of diffused it. And he just kept hanging out, looking around, looking at me. I was going, this dude wants to fucking fight. Yeah, but I had already diffused it, but it's kind of intimidating. And then I realized he's trying to hang out.
Yeah. Well, he said
So-
later that he's kind of shy.
So, yeah.
So, and sometimes people that are shy, they give off a vibe
Yeah.
like they're intimidated. Because I've heard from people that didn't know me and then met me later that we are like that.
Yeah.
Our friend Imani, who is a dear friend of ours, she wanted to approach us because she knew that I did graphic design and she wanted me to do some shit for some bands that she was working with. And she's like, and I was afraid to come talk to you guys because you guys always seemed so, you guys seemed really intimidating. Like, you seemed kind of snotty and like you were like so much cooler than everybody else and all this other kind of stuff. And I said, that is hilarious because we are absolutely
We're not really like that, yeah.
not
Pretty
like,
down to earth.
not like that at all. We're like not snotty at all. Well, we're maybe a little bit snotty. But not to people that are like, that come up to us and are cool and everything. Like, we're not, I don't think we're like that.
Yeah.
I don't think of us as intimidating, but maybe we just looked like that because we used to smoke back then too. She's like, you guys just stood over there in the corner with your cigarettes and like looked like you were so much cooler than everyone else and like you were judging everyone. And it's like, that's really funny because that wasn't what we were doing, but but that's how it looked.
But I had his age pegged at right around 30. Turned out he's 42.
Yeah.
But he looks young and he's huge.
Yeah, he does. I didn't look at him super close, but yeah, he does look a lot younger than that.
And he just looks like arms and shoulders. He's not very tall. We're about the same weight. He's about an inch shorter than me. So he looks like a little tank. Big arms. Nice waist. Nice little fucking skinny waist on. A lot of V-taper. And then going like... So that looks like, almost IFBB pro bodybuilder level. Not quite as lean, but strong, You went on a fight with him. And he had a kind of a thug kind of way about him. Thuggish. He's a white guy, but he looked... Turns out, he did some time. Girl prison, though. Fucking funny, but he's... I got to know him. He's just real friendly. Real friendly. Super smart. Super intelligent. And he said, well, we were talking about, fucking our protocols. He's talking about the doctor, and he was having blood pressure problems, and he's on trend. Tested trend, I was like, man, you won't fuck with that shit, man. That shit will fucking make you a gay serial killer or some shit like that. And he goes, well, with me, that would just make me straight. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But I just let it slide. And I realized that I started to think, man, I said, I think this dude's trying to tell me that he likes me. And he goes, well, there's somebody later on. He said, well, I was kind of not. He's talking about his how much aromatase inhibitors he needed, and what his blood pressure readings were on certain doses. I says, that's a pretty strong reaction to that. It says, you must not have very good genes or something, but looking at you, the response is good. I don't understand the problem. He goes, yeah, I was born with the wrong genes, all right. So I said, well, I can't tell. You built up fucking fantastic physique in fucking 6-7 years. And he's like, yeah, well, there's something you don't know about me. You know, I'm not really what I seem to be. And I'm going like, well, what the hell is going on? You know, it's like, what the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? And he's like, I wasn't always like this. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, you know, I said, are you a chick? And he's like, well, this is how you're a chick. You're trans. He goes, yeah. Don't tell anybody though. It's like, dude, I never would have fucking suspected. He goes, yeah. And I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, you're a dude. He goes, oh, thanks, man. I says, yeah, you're a dude. He's like 100% dude, man. You never would know. Did you even suspect?
No, but like I said, I don't really think about it all that much.
No, if you see a dude that built like that with a fucking neck like that and fucking huge arms, you would think would it ever cross your mind? No, never.
Like I said, it's not usually something
that
crosses my mind anyway.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah. He looks like a tank.
I don't really think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he looks like a tank. You wouldn't want to fight him.
I'm just like, oh, it's a person. Looks like, you know. And like I said,
there's nothing female about that.
I didn't look at it.
There's nothing female about the way that dude's appearance. Nothing.
Because you just said something about it. It's like, oh, you know, the guy, kind of saw him like out of the corner, but this was at Abyss, I think, and I kind of saw him out of the corner of my eye, but, you know, he didn't really stand out or anything, and then you said something about, oh, I was talking to that dude in the bathroom or whatever, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay, like, I didn't talk to him.
He looks like a handsome, fucking, tough, fucking white dude, what he looks like. A bodybuilder, what he looks like.
We got another super chat from Papa77. Shaby and I have heard the same about us, that they look intimidating, I guess.
Who? Who said that?
Papa77.
Okay, yeah.
We say to them, we are not intimidating. You are just intimidated. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're complete and total goofballs. Yeah,
we're not.
And we're super friendly. Like, as long as you're not a douche. If you come up being a douche, oh yeah, we're going to be real bitchy.
What you do is you tell them, look, it's not like we think we're better than you. It's just that you suck compared to us. That's all it is.
I would say that to somebody if they were being an asshole. I said stuff like that to someone who was being an asshole. But if somebody comes up and is just nice, I'm going to be super nice right back to them, because why wouldn't I be? You know, I'm not bitchy unless I need to be bitchy. Yeah. I can be bitchy if I need to be. Trust me. But I don't usually have to be. Most people are actually pretty cool. CB said, when my cousin had workmen in her house, she caught the guy on camera going through her underwear drawer on security camera, sniffing them.
Who was this? Who said this?
CB said that their cousin had workmen in the house. Yeah. That's probably a lot more common than you think. Although these workmen have not come upstairs at all. I mean, like I said, Tom is retired. He's here pretty much all the time. I work at home. I'm here pretty much all the time. I rarely leave the house during the week. And the only time we're out on weekends usually is if we go get something to eat or like late at night, like if we're out at the club. So they don't do anything. They don't even come upstairs, you know, because there's no reason for them to. They're working on the kitchen. That's downstairs. So they don't come up here. I don't even have an underwear drawer.
Yeah, I leave the door open for them. They can come and go in the morning. Yeah.
I don't even have an underwear drawer. It's just all kind of... I should probably get a dresser.
Yeah,
one of these days.
Yeah, you're not. We've been... Our priorities have been all over the place. We had to replace a roof. The outside, the air conditioning systems here. There's two of them.
That sucked.
And the kitchen. And they keep fucking with me over the edging. And I got a fucking whole acre of shit. I'm going to hire a crew just coming to edge. I can mow. I got to ride on.
Yeah, I got to ride.
That's one of the edge and maybe do my flower beds.
But the HOA is like bitching.
Keep fucking with me.
I think they probably are bitching at everybody just because they don't have anything better to do. Clearly.
Yeah, I had to pressure wash all my fucking big driveway. I had to get a special machine to pressure wash that, a pressure washer, and then a fucking rotary tool to do it. Just a pain in the ass, man.
It is a pain in the ass.
It wasn't that expensive, but you know. It was easier just to do that than to hire some guys and probably spend $400 paying them to fucking do my fucking. For half that, I was able to buy the equipment I needed to do it myself. And you don't have to do it all the time. Maybe once every couple of years. It hadn't been done probably in 10 years.
Yeah.
So you know. And then I'm building a motorcycle out here too in the living room. That's right. I build motorcycles in the fucking living room. That's how fucking redneck I am. I built an engine and everything, but I built the engine in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But it's a 2-stroke, so it's a very simple engine. Everything's small, and it's a 1973 RD4. Well, it's an RD350, but I'm going to build it as an RD400. I got RD400 wire and harness, wheels. There's not a lot of difference other than the displacement and certain things got uprated. I'm going to use all the uprated shit in it, and I'll probably have about $3,000 in it when it's done. And AI says in my area I could probably get $9,000 for it, but we'll see. I'm not building it to sell it, but I might sell it. I may anyway. But it's just going to be a wild little 2-stroke. And I changed my strategy on it. I have a fucking modern wheels and suspension out there on there, but I was going to have a problem with a bunch of bearing spacers that I have to make. And I realized having that newer stuff on that bike might affect its resale value, so I got rid of that. Because that didn't cost me much anyway. Like I got that a long time ago, the wheels and the suspension. And I'm putting Yamaha stuff on there from the 70s, but off of their more expensive motorcycles. Like my front end suspension is not RD400. It's a Yamaha XS650, which is kind of like their version of the Triumph Bonneville. It's a heavier duty forks that can go in triple trees, and the wheels are off of RD400. I'm going to have expansion chambers on it. Some dudes in India are making me a fucking... They do it for anybody who asks, but they're going to make me a handmade aluminum race tank and tail for it that looks like something out of like late 70s, early 80s. It's going to fucking look badass. And it'll be about 300 pounds, which is light. And it'll probably make about 65 horsepower with 2-stroke delivery, which is fucking real rapid, you know. Probably won't go much over 100 miles an hour, but it'll get there pretty fast. And leave a big cloud of smoke and it sounds like a chainsaw. Like that, you know. You don't see those anymore on the road.
Oracle says Pookie would deal with any intruders. Yeah, you know what
Pookie will run.
Pookie would do is she runs into the bedroom. She would probably hide under... She used to hide under the bed.
Yeah.
But since we got a new bed, she can't fit under it anymore because she's too chubby. Bam can still get under the bed because she's like more svelte. But Pookie will run behind the bedroom curtains and hide, but her butt is still sticking out. And she thinks she's hiding. Like, she looks around like that, like, oh, shit, and she goes, like, behind the curtains, and then her butt is sticking out. It's the funniest thing.
Nobody's coming in here.
Like I said, we're here all the time.
We're here all the time, and this place is a death trap. I got AR-15s strategically placed.
And you can hear people coming up the stairs.
I got two AR-15s and a fucking AK-47 and fucking a bunch of pistols stashed in strategic places. You're not coming in here without taking a bullet. You're going to take a round. You got to get up those stairs. And you're never going to get up them stairs.
No, because like I said, we can hear you.
Yep.
The stairs are right there.
How they do it in Florida is they get a truck, and they have a truck full of dudes, and they run that truck through they go around, because there's no fences, so they just run around the backyard, and they back the truck or into your fucking sliding glass doors. Boom! And then the dudes all pile out. And they usually have guns. And they start spreading out through the house to try to figure out where you are. Well, they got to get up the stairs, and the stairs is a kill zone. You can't get up those stairs. And I'll shoot right through walls. You know, I'm an expert machine gunner from the 101st Airborne Division.
Yeah, we're up here.
I got
to come up the stairs. There's no other way to get up.
I don't think like a civilian. I can shoot through those walls. You're just going to get picked up. I know where that guy is, and I can shoot right through those walls and lay down some fucking cone of effective fire right through these walls and get that guy and drive him out of here. I'll shoot this whole house up getting you out of here. All right? And you don't have to come around a corner. I'm going to shoot through that corner. So I got a lot of experience doing that kind of shit. You're going to be a dead man you get in here. You may kill me, but I will definitely kill you. We're going to die together. That's the mentality. You're not coming into my house. And go after her and the Pookies and shit? Oh, no. No.
Yeah, like I said, that's kind of... Having a 2-story house kind of sucks sometimes, like when you're doing laundry and whatnot.
It's easier to defend.
But I did, especially when you were gone for those several days, I kind of felt better about it because I'm like, hey, any motherfucker came in here, Like I could just pick you right off, like because you got to come up the stairs.
Got to come up the stairs. You're gonna go right into a gun barrel.
Yep. And I can just go pop.
Yep.
Because I can see you, bitch.
And with an assault rifle, a woman doesn't even know how to reload. You don't have to know how to reload. All you gotta do is flip a safety off and pull a trigger until you're just vaporized. You know, you can give her a 90-round magazine. You know, I didn't, or 60-round magazine. She's had a regular 30-round magazine in there, nice and light.
And I just kept it by the
14.5-inch carbine, fucking ultralight carbon fiber front end, pencil barrel made by fucking Faxon pencil barrel, stress released. Yeah. And it was a flat top A1 style fucking suppressor with, you know, with a flat top A1 style upper without any fucking forward bolt assist and just fucking red, fucking shake awake red dot scopes and fucking built-in fucking flashlight. You just press a button, the flashlight comes on. Yeah, good shit.
Grabster says, HOAs suck until your neighbor parks his 1978 RV trailer with no tires in the street. Honestly, though, the HOA here is like, they complain about, you know, your driveway looks a little too gray or you're not edging enough, even though everyone's yard looks pretty much the same. But we have a neighbor 2 houses down, which I'm sure we've mentioned before, who blares his fucking stereo so loud that it rattles our walls, and no one does shit about that. They don't do shit about that. He does it all the time. He hasn't done it in a little while.
Yep.
But I think he's on the HOA. That's what I heard.
Somebody's talking about stashing guns. Dude, I got a fucking... I got a 9mm high point. The cheapest thing you could buy. I got it used for about $50. 9mm high point fucking pistol. 9mm blowback brick. I got that in the bathroom. I just know it got it hidden and stashed in the bathroom. If I happen to be fucking there, I can get the fucking gun quick. I got 9mm. I got 380s. Got 40s. Got a Glock. Excuse me. I got a what is that? It's a Walther P99. Fucking 40 Smith & Wesson. I got that. That was on sale. Yeah, it was back when. As soon as the police got rid of 40 Smith & Wesson, man, the price of 40 Smith & Wesson pistols, even the brand new ones, the top ones, just fucking plummeted because everybody started selling off 40s. The market got fucking jammed up with 40 Smith & Wesson pistols, and I think I got that 40 Smith & Wesson fucking Walther for like $325. Brand new in the box, never been fired, and you know it's a top of the line fucking pistol, man. And it has one of the best triggers fucking ever came out in an automatic pistol. It was double action, single action, and Glock safe action, and just regular straight single action without a trigger, without a fucking. It could be any. It could emulate any pistol configuration you wanted. DASA, double action only, or Glock safe action. It could emulate any pistol, and it was fucking beautiful trigger pull on it. And they dumbed it down and made it into the PPQ, which I wouldn't own that. But the P99, yeah, that was a good one. Oh, Walter.
See, CB says, my cat won't shut up until you do what she wants. Oh, Pookie's like that too. So I put something on the bed for her to sleep on, and the bitch goes back out. You know what's so cute? Pookie sleeps on Tom's shirts. Mm-hmm. So he will leave a shirt like on the bench on the end of the bed, and she's just like...
Oh, yeah, she loves it. Especially if I've been wearing the shirt.
And then take it off and put it on the end of the bed. She's like, daddy smell.
Yeah, she loves it.
Although I will note too that she will also sleep on like a brick of plastic. Like she'll put her head up on it. I'm like, I don't understand. They will sleep in the weirdest, like most uncomfortable positions. She also likes to sleep on the remote controls. Like sometimes if you can't find the remote control and she's sitting there, I can guarantee it's under her belly because she's sitting on it. She's like, what? I like these edges digging into my skin. What's the matter with you? You know what I mean? Let me see. CB says Tom's ready to kill a burger. Do you mean burglar or did you actually mean burger?
Yeah. Kill and take a shit. You don't have to kill burgers. And they come cooked and ready.
They're already dead. I mean, if you have to kill the burger, then you know that might be a little weird.
A burger going moo.
There's a little tiny cow in there. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, never know.
I don't think of them as burglars, man. I think of them as home invaders, because you don't know if they just want to steal. That may not be. This is America. That may not be the motive.
Most people who want to steal shit will wait till you're not home.
Yeah, if they're breaking in when you're not in there, they're after you or your wife. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like some serial killer shit.
Yeah, burglars come in during the day.
Joseph D'Angelo.
Yeah, burglars come in during the day when you're at work.
Yeah, if they just want your stuff.
That's some cowardly motherfucker just gonna come and steal.
They just want money for drugs.
Yeah, and they want to steal guns and steal money. If they're coming in with force while you're in here, it's not burglary that they're after. Rape and robbery, murder. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine that that's probably what their
why else would they be coming in?
Game is, yeah, if they know you're there.
There's nothing else to get. If they just wanted to steal shit, they'd come in during the day.
Yeah. Even though joke's on them, we're all here during the day.
Yeah, we're here during the day too. Well, that's why they moved to an easier target.
Yeah.
You just have to be a harder target, and they'll move. And we're in an area that's already a harder target, because this is known as like a redneck area. So it's not a safe place to steal from. Everybody's got guns here. And in Florida, you can, if you can legally purchase any kind of firearm, you can legally carry it, concealed or out in the open. So, you know, some people are getting upset. They're not from here, but they live here, and they see a dude on a motorcycle go by, and they'll take a video of him. I've seen it. And he's going by on a motorcycle with an AR-15 strapped on his back. They're like, oh, look at him. He's compensating and shit. He's in an area like this. He's probably going to the range. He doesn't have a trunk. He's just going to ride there on a fucking motorcycle. It doesn't really mean anything. And he's not trying to compensate for anything. For all you know, that's a cop, too. It's another thing. Or he's just a country boy. And everybody has those. So how are you being impressive when every motherfucking dude's got those here? Everybody has them. Just that they're not really used to it yet that you can carry one. I saw a video of a dude in Publix getting a sub. He had an AR-15 on his back. And people said, what the hell's he doing? Well, he might have showed up in a Jeep. So he couldn't leave it in a Jeep. He just wanted to get his sandwich. It's legal. It wasn't loaded. You know, he just had stuff on his back. So he probably couldn't leave it in his Jeep unsecured. Could be anything. But either way, it's legal. And I've seen people argue this isn't the Wild West. Because no, it isn't the Wild West. It's far more deadly than the Wild West ever was. Far more dangerous. The Wild West was pussy compared to the shit that happens now. One of the biggest gunfights was the gunfight at OK Corral. And only 3 or 4 guys died during that. That wouldn't even be noticed today.
We got 2 super chats from Klaus. One 20. It's Kroner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and one is 50.
What did Klaus say?
He said, Tanya is psycho, but I like it. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. She can be psycho.
As long as you're not, murdering people psycho. Grapter says, word on the street is Iron Maiden has several U.S. shows planned for 2026. Final tour, probably.
Yeah. It's time for them to probably cut it out for a while. They did good for a long time. But those dudes really...
Oh, I meant to check on those Gary Newman tickets. Because I actually got a code for a discount.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
So, because Gary Newman is coming next year, and he was great. Me and him saw him several years ago.
Oh, he's great live.
And he was fucking great. I think it's March of next year.
Yeah. Dimitri and his wife, they have tickets already.
Yeah, they went. It was pre-sale today, I think.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know if the code is still good, but I could try it out.
Yeah, we should get some. We'll go. It's gonna be clear up close.
Yeah, I mean it's months away. It's like
months away.
It's March of next year.
Yeah.
They put tickets for sale like so early nowadays. I don't remember that happening back in the old days.
Well,
like
pre-sales probably help them bolster other fucking events.
I guess so. Yeah, like further down the line.
But
yeah,
it's like we pre-sold this one and this one. This is pre-sold.
It's just weird. I guess it's kind of because I do a lot of graphics for bands that are playing here, like in Orlando and Tampa and stuff. And man, I did a thing today, and they're not playing until February or March of next year too. But they're announcing it. Like
there's
today.
a good chance he'll probably bring his daughters.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so they'll probably be performing too. Raven, and then the other one, his youngest daughter's Raven. She's got to be. I think she just turned 20.
Yeah.
It's so funny because that video came out when she's a little girl with him, and she's already 20.
Yeah.
That's how fast they grow up.
Time goes on.
Yeah.
Counter Orlock said, Jenny, did y'all hear that there's going to be a movie about the Golden State Killer starring Vincent Gallo as D'Angelo? I did hear there was going to be a movie. I didn't know Vincent Gallo was going to be in it. He doesn't really look much like D'Angelo. Well, maybe he does now. I haven't seen him in a long time. I'm sure they'll kind of make him look like... I don't even remember what D'Angelo looked like when he was younger. I just remember him as like a old man, like in an orange jumpsuit, because that's when they finally caught his stupid ass.
Out of them all, he was the most dangerous one. D'Angelo. He was the one that was the most tactically and strategically competent because of his background. He could make it as a cop and a soldier. He was just a fucking psycho. He had fucking bad sexual problems. He had sexual... But I think in terms of competency, he was the most competent one, which made him the most dangerous.
Excuse me. Don't know where that came from.
He was into takeovers. You just take over your whole house. You wanted the man to be there to witness everything he was doing to the wife and shit. He was basically doing cuck porn. Live action.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And like I said, even though he had reportedly a tiny penis,
I think that's what he was doing. I think that's what the problem was.
Well, I'm sure that was... I mean, I'm sure he had a whole bunch of problems, but I'm sure that was probably the root of a lot of them.
It was a power trip thing.
A lot of dudes like that, even if they're not serial killers.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you feel the need to like go around yelling all the time and having a big, huge fucking pickup truck and talking about what a badass you are and all this other kind of crap, I mean, most people in their right mind is going to think, you probably have a small penis. I mean, why would you be like that otherwise?
They might think that about me, but I got pictures to prove. No, I wouldn't say that everybody's like that. Cause
not everybody, but...
No, fucking... It's just that some of these dudes that are... these serial killers, every one of them is trying to compensate for some kind of inadequacies of some type. If it's not a physical inadequacy, it's some kind of fucking mental inadequacy. That, like... What's his name? Granddaddy of them all. Fucking, who was the dude that fucking shit? What's his name?
Well, who are you talking about?
The best one.
The best one?
Yeah, the one that they always talk about.
Who, Ted Bundy?
Ted Bundy. See, I said that one. There you go. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy had all kinds of inadequacy issues. All right. His deal was that he wanted to be perceived as being very fucking brilliant, very intelligent, and successful.
He just couldn't quite have it.
And that's not really what he was. He was an underachiever.
He was just a mediocre...
He was mediocre.
White dude.
Yeah. He was a mediocre dude. He looked pretty good, and he could pass himself off as like a guy, like a lawyer or a politician or some shit like that, because he was in the Republican Party, and he was trying to pass himself off as something that he wasn't. He didn't have the intellect or the discipline to stick with any of this shit. He would only fake it.
Yeah.
He could only do the superficial.
And deep down, he knew he was faking it.
Yeah, he knew he was fake.
He had imposter syndrome big time.
Yeah, and that's why that made him feel inadequate, and his whole sexual fetishes, and what he was doing with these women and everything was a power trip. He's like, yeah, maybe I'm weak in these sections, but look how strong I am. I could kill these women, as if that's a challenge. But he thought it was a challenge.
Good for you, bro.
He thought it was a challenge. And he would compare himself to the Green River Killer. Look who he's killing. He's a bottom feeder. My victims are all good girls. Look, they're all high quality.
I love when serial killers talk shit about other serial killers. Like they're ranking.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking contest or something. I'm like, oh my god.
He couldn't get the girls I get. He couldn't get the girls I get.
I murder much better looking women.
Yeah, much better women. Yeah.
Mine are college students. His are just sex workers.
All my women are pretty college students, and I talk to them, and they got in the car with me, and that kind of stuff. And
People are fucked up, man. Those people are fucked up. That is a fucked up mindset.
It was just trying to go for raw, primal victory. You know, why win a woman's heart over with your own, fucking charm
like being a good dude.
Being a good dude. Why do that when you can just take it?
I mean,
and
so
then
much
use
easier.
her up and throw her away like a disposable object. That's true supremacy. I kind of think that's what they're talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's absolutely the mindset that a lot of
They
them
can't come up to a certain level, so what they do is they lower a person down to being a disposable unit, and that makes them feel like they're better.
It makes them
than
feel
that
like
person.
they're better than that.
They're better than that person.
Well, like you said, it all pretty much stems down to inadequacy issues,
yeah.
which a lot of people have that. It's a very common human emotion, but most people deal with it in much healthier ways,
Part of it, man, there's some kind of a jealousy, inadequacy thing where if they see a person who maybe has more accomplishment, or maybe they're better looking than they are, or they have more money, than they get jealous. I never had that, man. If I saw some dude, he's bigger than me, better looking than me, got more money, I'm like, yeah, man, you rock, man. Yeah, I'm cheering for you. You know what I mean? Jen see me do it.
Yeah, you don't really have that.
I just don't have that, man. That motherfucker's awesome,
I've never, and
like a
honestly,
man crush,
I don't have that either. Like I have a lot of insecurities and stuff like that still, but it would never occur to me to like run somebody else down
because
to
they're doing
make
better.
myself feel better.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, man, they, that's really cool. Maybe I should do that, or
That's what I do.
Look at what they're doing,
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't hate them because, they got farther than me, or they're better looking than me, or something like that. Like, yeah, sometimes it makes me feel bad, but it's not their fault.
I never feel bad. I see some other dude doing good, and it inspires me. My reaction is, he could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
Or I could do something like that. Do something different and get the same result. You know what I mean? Or he did it that way. I can match him, but I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah, like do it your own way.
Yeah. So I never really had that, and I always rooted for the winners because I wanted to be in the winners. You know what I mean? Because you can win. It don't matter who you are. You can win. You could be in a wheelchair.
There's
and win.
lots of different ways.
There's different ways to win.
To have quote unquote success. It doesn't. There's not just one way to get there. There's not just
a bunch of different ways.
And actually, it looks different to different people. Like success to you might mean something else. Than it does to someone else. So it's like you can't really. Who was it that said? I know this is a pretty famous quote, but somebody said comparison is the thief of happiness, or something something along those lines. Yeah, it's like everybody's different. Like you can't really, and I struggle with this too. But you can't like compare yourself to other people, or you will never be happy. Yeah. Because there's always going to be somebody better looking than you, or smarter than you, or more accomplished, or richer, or whatever the fuck. There's always going to be somebody like that, and you just have to like find what you're good at and play to your own strengths, because everybody has their own thing going on,
Yeah, that's why I like certain fucking crank ass fucking bullshit ass philosophies like communism and shit. Well, we're all the same. So therefore, this big tall building here, the Empire State Building, we're going to have to knock that down so everybody is the same size. So no tall buildings. Because we can't make all these short buildings tall, so we're going to have to make all... It's jealousy more than anything else.
Well, there was a short story like that Kurt Vonnegut wrote.
Okay, yeah.
It was called Harrison Bergeron. It's a very very famous short story. And it's basically about... if you were born better than somebody like better looking or taller or something like that, like you had to have certain handicaps. Right. Like if you were stronger, you had to like walk around with a bunch of weights hanging off you.
To make everybody the same.
Or something like that. Or if you were like really good looking, you had to like wear a mask or some other thing. It's been a while since I read it, but we read it in school.
No.
It's a good story. I love Kurt Vonnegut.
Humans are in the animal kingdom, and in the animal kingdom, the healthy thing to do is competition. Competition is friendly, and all organisms can succeed if they're adaptable. I can't fucking join a fucking female beauty pageant. I'm a male, and I ain't as beautiful as my success has to come on my own terms as a dude, and there's certain things that I can do. I can do things that only some guys can do. Other dudes can do other things, and the thing is that everyone can find a success in their own world if they apply themselves. If you start getting fucking if you start beating yourself up and fucking destroy your own morale,
or blaming other people,
that you will never succeed. They've had some, like I told you all about Tuna. I had a friend named Tuna. Tuna was a fat motherfucker, okay, not very attractive. He could pull the most beautiful fucking chicks, okay, because he was hilarious.
Yeah.
And he was a good dude.
And that goes a long way.
He was hilarious, and he could reliably get a job. And fucking, he was always there.
That also goes a long way.
All right.
You're somebody that they can count on.
You could count on him.
And you're funny.
And everybody liked him. Okay.
That's 2 big green flags right there.
Now, was he getting laid because he was fat? No. Would he have gotten even more laid if he was fucking jacked? Yeah, he would have. But he was able to compensate. Just through pure fucking
charisma.
reliability.
Yeah.
And fucking, he had a great charisma. You know what I mean? And fucking, he was a lot like John Candy. You remember that? He kind of reminded me of John Candy, but he was more solid. John Candy would kind of come across as a clown. He was funny, but he wasn't as clown-like as...
Right.
But he was, you could tell he was like a good dude. And here's another thing. Is that he was overweight, but he was strong. He was as strong as an ox. So he could get a woman out of trouble. He could get himself out of trouble. So these women felt safe with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that, again, goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of dudes that maybe aren't supermodels or anything like that, they kind of just give up because they're like, all women just want a dude that's 6 feet tall and super chiseled and has $1 million and all this other kind of shit, which is absolutely not true. That's just an excuse that you're using to not fucking do anything.
Yeah.
What that is.
Hypergamy is a reality. That is true. The thing is, those dudes that fulfill all those requirements, they're almost kind of like out of the game because those dudes are all taken. If you're some young chick and you want this fucking 6'6" dude who's fucking making 6 figures with a 6-pack and at least a 6 inches dick with the fucking 6 fucking cars and fucking 6, he's already taken. Yeah, he's desirable. He's taken. And he's taken by a woman probably better looking than you. So a lot of women kind of check out on those. You know what I mean? Fucking, they're like, fuck it. You know, because he's already taken.
Yeah.
So they're not really in the game. They're out of the game. Now, those dudes could get on one of these apps, like, you know, fucking one of these hookup apps, and probably do real well on that. But those girls that are hooking up with that guy are never going to marry that guy because he's seeing them as, well, I got 30 of these, and he's going to get sick of that. You know what I mean? Fucking,
yeah.
He's not going to commit to any one of them because he's on that dating app with no intention of fucking making any kind of commitment to any of these women. That's just free sex.
Yeah, like, why would he?
So he's not going to because, this is just a plentiful. So the average dude really shouldn't worry about that guy. He's not really your competition because the women that you're coming across in daily life have already they don't see that guy, don't have access to him, and have kind of checked out on that because they know that, well, I might be able to fuck that guy on a dating app, but he was not going to marry me, so it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to...
I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. If you just want to fuck a hot guy, okay,
then they can do that.
Then probably you can do that. But if you want him to, like, hang around and, like... Yeah. You know, marry you and shit. That's probably not.
That's not the one to go for.
We got another super chat from. Is it Mr. Faster Than? I can't see the whole thing. You might be able to see it. I can't. But says good advice.
Faster than light.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I like that.
Yeah, Mr.
Like that Duran Duran song.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Mr. Faster Than Light.
Good advice. Have a drink on me. Well, thank you very much. That's very
ACDC.
nice.
Have a drink on me. ACDC.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Gramther says, some dudes just have riz. Steve was only a dude younger than me growing up I admired for ability to effortlessly draw in hotties.
Who said that?
Gramther said.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about the same Steve.
Yeah,
that's my best friend.
Yeah. Like I said, and we've discussed this many times, it's that everybody, okay, maybe not everybody, because there's some people that are just like scum of the earth, that are irredeemable, a small number. Most normal people have something to offer.
Somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, have something to offer somebody. It does, even if you're not good looking or something like that, like you might be talented in other ways. Like I said, you might be funny, or you might like be really nice, or you might be like really, it's like there's a million things. So I think that it's very defeatist. And like I said, that's kind of why the whole, when we did the show about like the incels, about like Elliot Rodger and shit like that, it's just like those dudes, it's hilarious to me because they don't seem to see the irony in complaining about how shallow women are for only wanting this, that, and the other thing, but they're super shallow. That's all they care about.
Yeah, but
they're the ones yapping about it more than women are.
Okay, but the thing is that the Elliot Rodgers is that
Roger,
Roger. That's who you're talking about. He was a nut. He didn't.
Yeah, no shit.
He didn't represent the average dude. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not saying. I was talking about incels. He's kind of like
the
saint of the incels.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the incels dudes that are at that level, the problem isn't that they can't get a girlfriend. The problem is a much deeper problem within them. They have that causes these other problems. That the end result is that they're not desirable. But they have to fucking pick through all their problems and find out what the net problem is,
a lot of problems,
so they can move forward and develop themselves. And eventually they'll attract attention through their, just through their character and what they're doing. And women will not be a problem, because making female friends and dating some of them is just a natural consequence of you being basically normal.
Just being a normal, cool-ass person.
Yeah.
Who can just hang out.
Yeah.
And isn't constantly whining about how no one will pay attention
Raptors,
to you.
He's talking about our friend Steve. That was my best friend. He's like my brother to this day. He's come over to visit recently. I'm going to get him back over here. Me and Steve would effortlessly hook up with chicks. Yeah. We were fucking the bad boys. And it's because we didn't prioritize it. We were just having fun. And they were friends of ours. We knew them all, and we do all kinds of great shit with them. And it's because we weren't trying, in a way. We were just having fun, treating people like people, getting to know people. We get high too. Take LSD and fucking me and Steve would start talking about the deeper meaning of things, and which that was quite cool too. And we would just. I think one of the things that me and Steve did, I think, was different than a lot of guys our age. This is back in high school, is that we tried to look at things from a woman's point of view, what their problems were.
A lot of dudes don't do that.
And what and like what their choices were. Like what choices are they being presented with? And we'd have whole discussions about that. And we didn't really have any jealousy. We'd start talking about some chick. We would start loving on her. And then, like, Steve, call her. We'd call her. We'd both talk to her on the phone, And then have her come over. And then we'd go drive around a car, We might both make out with her. We didn't have any problem with that kind of shit. And it wasn't like we were trying to make her our girlfriends. You just have fun.
Yeah. You didn't take it super serious.
No. We were just treating her like a person. Yeah, we, just say, like, you're awesome, man. You're smart. You're cute. Fucking. What are we gonna do after this? Fucking high school. Just that kind of shit. Because it's kind of They were all getting ready for college, and I didn't really want to go to college, man. I was like, I'm fucking sick of school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I ended up in the fucking club scene downtown Detroit. Eventually because I went to Brazil and then came back. And I was like, man, this is dead end. I don't have any accomplishments. I joined the Army. Which, that was a good thing. Fucking loved the Army. And I got out of the Army and went back to college in Boston. I did like a semester and a half. Fucking a business school. Fucking Bay State College. A little private college. And I was in there and I was like, fuck, man. I felt like I was 10 years older than everybody else in terms of maturity. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? What a waste of time, man. And I just had a bad feeling about college. I felt like my wheels were spinning, and I'm like, this isn't really intellectually challenging shit. I was going for accounting. And I said, man, and I'm broke. And there's so many women in the club scene. So I said, fuck it. I became a salesman. I started making good money. And what was weird is that Had I stuck with that fucking with that accountant degree, I'd have been miserable, man. I would have made a horrible accountant. Horrible. And I think all that's basically been done away with, most of it, with fucking scanning items and fucking AI. I think it's gotten rid of most of that. I don't think they have accountants like they used to.
Yeah, that's what
I'm sure there's some in there for legal purposes, but they're probably all an endangered species. Because you could have a fucking central computer and you're scanning items coming in and out, doing your inventory, your warehouse. It's keeping track of all that shit. You don't need a person doing it.
Yeah, it's like some people hire them to do their taxes, but
I
do my own taxes online.
Yeah, and eventually you're gonna have AI programs that will fucking be better
like
than any person.
And my grandfather actually told me this when I was a kid, and told my mom the same thing and all her siblings. If someone else learned to do it, you can learn to do it.
Yeah.
So I've kind of taken that to heart, and honestly, if I can figure out how to do something on my own, I will absolutely do that.
Well, I don't know, man. Fucking my IQ is pretty good. Steve's IQ was even better than me. He became a genetic scientist and shit. He was on that Human Genome Project. Went through that whole University of Michigan stuff. Ended up doing all kinds of, and even he admitted to me, like, man, some of this shit, but I can't understand it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
goes,
you hit walls every now and then.
He says, yeah, I can't understand it.
But I haven't had too many problems. Like, usually everything that I've wanted to figure out how to do, I've been able to figure out how to do it.
Steve's IQ probably 150, 155. And some of that shit that he was talking about on the Human Genome Project, probably 170 is what you needed to fully understand it. And he kind of like, I think that really crushed him. He's like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. He started opening his own businesses and stuff. He was doing software for a while, but I understand. I think it was a big blow to his ego. Grandpa, you know what I'm talking about. I think it was a blow to his ego that he found out that his intelligence, his intellect wasn't unlimited. But no man's is.
No one's is.
It's just that he wanted to be the best of the best of the best of the best. But
yeah, I get it.
Man, when I was fucking in Boston, I was going through, hanging out in some of these clubs around the Ivy League, and you'd run into these guys that had fucking experiments going on the space shuttle, you know. They're fucking working at MIT, or they're students at MIT. Those dudes probably have 180 IQ. You can't stand to be in a room with them. They're so intelligent that they're almost handicapped. So there's kind of like diminishing returns when it comes to IQ. Some of those guys are so intelligent that they can't function, and they come across as being kind of like Rain Man or something out of that movie. And there was a pizza parlor I used to go to outside Harvard Square, and they had good pizza, and it was some kind of like Street Fighter, one edition of Street Fighter. I remember playing that shit. And this guy would come in here and he would fucking just talk and talk and talk, and I would cringe, just the cringiest motherfucker ever. And the guys working at the pizza parlor, you know, kind of would like shine him on. You know, they liked him. He'd leave and I says, man, that dude's fucking annoying as fuck. And he's like, yeah, well, he's real smart. And I say, he is? He seems like it. He goes, yeah, he's got experiments going on the fucking space shuttle and shit. He works over there at MIT. He was a little bit older than me, but looking at him, you would think he was 14 years old. You know, just and that's the thing that I think Steve didn't know, is that to be like in the top echelon, super smart fucking ultra geniuses, you're almost handicapped, man. You're socially handicapped. They're just funny looking, really poor social skills. Couldn't get laid in a Mexican whorehouse. No street smarts. No fucking, just extremely unpleasant to be around. And I don't think Steve realized that. I'm gonna make me another drink. How is yours doing?
I probably need a top up. It's getting a little water.
Grams
Oh wait, well hello there says, lots of incels don't seem to realize that women tend to not be attracted to guys they feel sorry for. Yet that's the angle they try. Yeah, I was telling Tom the other day, I said, I heard through the grapevine that after I got divorced, that is also the angle my ex-husband was trying.
Yeah.
When he was, like, dating others, like, bitching about me. And I'm like, you really shouldn't need to tell dudes this, but apparently you do. No girl that's going out on a date with you wants to hear you complain about your ex. That is a huge, huge red flag.
Yeah, that should be...
It should be
totally
common sense.
Common sense.
I said, you should not have to tell people that, but evidently you do, because a lot of dudes do that.
Women do something very similar. They'll get in there and they'll fucking tell you about the dude that they dumped and what a fucking piece of shit he was and fucking, you know what I mean? Oh, and he was like this and that, what a loser. And she's sucking up to you, talking about what a loser this other guy is. And you haven't seen him. And you're thinking, this bitch is going to be saying the same thing about me.
Well, that's kind of, that's kind of what you have. Anybody that just the whole time...
Yeah.
If you're out on a date with somebody and all they do is talk about someone else the whole time... Either positively or negatively, I mean, that's a red flag either way. Because, you know, you kind of want, if you're out on a date, you kind of want that person to, like, focus on you, right? You don't want them to just be like, man, my ex sucked, or man, oh, my ex was sucked. Even if, you know what, even if their ex is dead or something like that, like, even if they're widowed, like, they can talk about it for a minute, but it's just kind of like, don't make that the whole fucking focus of the conversation. Nobody wants to hear about somebody else that's some stranger that they don't know about. You know what I mean? That maybe you're going to like better than them or shit like that. Like, nobody wants to hear that. But, you know, I did hear, like I said, through the grapevine, because after I got divorced, I didn't really keep in contact with my ex-husband other than, like, real necessary shit. And I have no idea. I haven't heard from him for, I don't even know how many years. I have no idea where he's at now. I have no idea I don't even know if he's still alive, to be honest with you. I just don't think about it, which is kind of weird, but I don't know. Is it weird? I don't really think about it. You know what I mean? Because I think, because Tom was saying the other day, he's like, well, it seems like women they can detach from relationships a lot easier. I said, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think what it is that, because I was telling him this, I said, and I know I would never, you know, presume to, like, speak for all women or anything like that, because that would be ridiculous. But I'm just saying that a lot of women, when they're in a relationship with somebody, they have, like, I said, I kind of see it as like a pile of Legos. That's how I picture it in my mind. Other people may picture it differently. And every time you do or say something that pisses her off, she's adding a Lego to that pile. And after a certain time, everyone's pile is going to be a different size. Like, whatever their pile for I'm out is. Whatever their limit is. Everybody has a different size. But after a while, the size of that Lego pile is going to be too large, and she's going to be like, fuck this, I'm out. So after a time, because I feel like a lot of dudes that are kind of clueless, and, like, their wife of 10 years or whatever the fuck, like, she suddenly left me. I was blindsided. I had no idea. And I was like, dude, she probably complained about shit for, like, 10 years, and you didn't listen, or you just blew it off or whatever. But she was adding to that Lego pile that whole fucking time. So for her, it wasn't sudden. Like, for her, it was like a 10-year process. And the fact that you were blindsided just goes to show that she made the right decision, because you had no idea what she was talking about this whole time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I think of it as a pile of Legos. That's how I picture it. Other people may picture it different. I don't know.
I never dated. I thought that dating was for chumps. I didn't go out on any dates with any women until they were already my girlfriend, really. But during that vetting period, one of the things I would do if I didn't know her that well was ask her about exes and try to give her the opportunity to talk shit about her ex. And if she didn't talk shit about the ex and didn't want to talk about him, that was a green flag. It's like, okay. Yeah.
It's the same the other way around.
Good, yeah.
Like I said, you don't want somebody that's still obsessed with their ex, either positively or negatively. That's a huge red flag, because that's something that's going to come up later on. You don't want somebody that's like, oh, all my exes are crazy. Oh, that's a huge red flag. Because I'm like, I think the problem is you, chum. In that
what I was
situation.
looking for is his, he was a good dude, just didn't work out. That was like, okay, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, that's like 3 green flags. Even if she lied.
Yeah.
Even if she lied.
Yeah, because maybe she didn't want to get into it.
She didn't want to get into it, or 2, she protecting his reputation, didn't want to talk shit about it. Okay. Didn't want to spill any of the beans.
Like I said, my ex-husband is not a bad dude. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He was a good dude.
Yeah.
He didn't abuse me. He didn't do it. He wasn't terrible. It just didn't work out.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was good for a long time. Like I had a good time. Like for 11 years at least.
Yeah.
But in the end, it just didn't work out. We kind of wanted different things, and he was mad about it. But what are you gonna do? Like I said, I would never wish any ill on him or anything like. Now, if he had done some shitty stuff to me, he did do a couple things that I'm not happy about, which I won't repeat. But I mean, other than that, like in the aggregate, he was an okay dude. He's probably still an okay dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of inexperienced. That's all. And didn't really know what he was doing. That's all. And like I said, I don't wish ill on him at all. I hope everything works out for him. I haven't heard from him for years and years, and I don't even know where he's at now or what he's doing. Because I never check, because I never think about it. I just don't think about it.
Just chapter closed.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a big nostalgia person. And once I'm done with something, I'm done. I don't really look back on stuff or, man, I wish shit was like it was, but when I was in high school or so, I never really think about it.
Most people aren't.
Yeah, I don't think about it. I think that's more something people do when they're unhappy with their present lives.
Yeah. No, happy people don't even worry about it.
And they're just kind of looking back as man, it would be cool if it was. That's what I said before about how I'm not a real nostalgic person. Yeah, there was cool shit about the 80s and all this other kind of stuff, but I don't want to go back there. I don't really.
What I'm nostalgic about the 80s for is the nostalgia of the 80s.
Yeah, I know.
I enjoy the nostalgia of the 80s. I don't want to go back to that.
No, fuck no.
Because there were limitations.
Big time.
Not having the ability to hear or see anything on demand.
Yeah, that sucked.
Not having the ability to find the exact product you wanted.
That sucked.
Not having the ability to fucking go on and ask artificial intelligence if fucking what the measurements of a certain fucking axle on a motorcycle are, and will those bearings go on it? It's fucking back in the day that took forever.
Yeah, it's much easier nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, Count Orlock asked me a question.
Yeah.
Jenny, if you remember, my stepson and his girlfriend both graduated from art school, and they want to pursue graphic design or visual design. Do you have any advice for them? Ooh, this is a hard one. There's a lot of graphic design work out there. I don't really know because it's been many years since I was in college. I did get a degree in it, but that was a long time ago, and I've since had to learn everything on the job. I don't know, man. It's just kind of
and it's an ever-changing industry.
It is just like everything
and now
else.
AI's coming involved.
And I actually, I'm ambivalent about AI. Yeah, there's some scary shit that could come, but I use it a lot. It's actually really good because I manage a lot of social media accounts for various. It's mostly car dealerships, but I have a dental clinic and a laser facial clinic and a bunch of other stuff. And sometimes they want super, super specific stuff. And I have so many clients that I don't really have time to sit there and Photoshop or make everything. So making it an AI is just obvious. You know what I mean? You just got to do it because it only takes, it doesn't just take a few minutes because it usually takes several iterations before it gives you something that doesn't look kind of fucked up. But, especially if it's something, like I said, super specific. But, get fucking versed in that because you're going to be using AI a lot. I don't know, keep up with trends, but keep your own visual style as well, I've found. Because the thing that I've noticed with more recent, and I'm talking maybe like the last decade or something like that, like a lot of graphic design is very minimalist, and I have a kind of a hard time with that because I like Baroque kind of shit. Like, you know what I mean? I like stuff that's like real super gothic or super detailed or something like that. If you just have like a blank background with like just white text on it, I'm like, you're kind of cheating. Like, you're not even doing anything. I mean, I guess you kind of are because minimalism is its own thing, but I always kind of feel like you're not even really designing anything. Like, why do you need to hire anybody to do that? But I don't know. Do any even, like, I don't even know if any graphic designers get well known nowadays like they did back in the days of, and I'm talking about somebody like the guy that designed the cover of like Unknown Pleasures, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
which was minimalist also.
No, that's a wrap because there's too much stuff happening at once.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Everything's going very tribal and your local community.
Yeah, like I don't even know what the overarching, because the thing about it is that, every now and then you look up something like, what are the design trends for 2025? It's like, yeah, minimalism is still a thing, which, like I said, a lot of people like that. That's great, but it's like, to me, it makes everything look kind of generic. But there's other trends also, and some of them are a lot more maximalist, meaning like a lot more detail and stuff like that, which I tend to like better. But I don't know. You really do have to keep on top of shit, though, because there's a lot of competition out there. And especially now that AI is taking over a lot of art production, for better or for worse, you really have to kind of show that you know the deal, especially in terms of social media advertising, because that's probably where you're going to end up. Because I had to learn how to do reels and all that other kind of shit, like for TikTok and stuff like that, which I didn't have much idea about before. So I had to learn how to video edit just on my own. I didn't learn that in school. I just kind of learned it myself because I had to by necessity, but it's actually pretty fun. My sister does it too. It's hilarious because she was actually a medical coder for a long time. She worked in a gastrointestinal clinic. She's telling me really great stories about people coming in with because she would do the insurance, you know what I mean? She didn't see the patients, but she would see the insurance claims when they came in, and she's like, they put what in their butt? Oh my God. So, you know what I mean? So she would tell me all of these fucking stories. And it was pretty hilarious. But after a while, she got sick of that, and she's like, she wanted to do what I did. So she actually went a lot farther in school than I did. She got a master's, and she is actually managing a team at a museum in Atlanta, and is making very decent money. She had a lot of student debt still that she has to pay off, but she's making a lot more money than I am. That's for sure. You know what I mean? But like I said, she went to school a lot longer. I just did the regular ass 4-year degree. And it was a long time ago. When I went to school, we were still pasting stuff up by hand. I did learn Photoshop and Illustrator and InDesign and all of that. But I think the version that I learned on was Photoshop 3. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
But it hasn't changed all that much, honestly.
I've been keeping up with some weird shit. What's going on? The future of education's doomed. I just think it is. Universities and stuff, it's all doomed. Because what the future will be is AI programs that you buy access to that are AI tutors that teach you things that are relevant right now. The problem with a lot of these formal old school educational institutions like universities is they're teaching you something out of a textbook. And by the time it becomes a textbook, it's already out of date. Because what's happening in the job market and in industry and technology changes every 18 months.
Not even.
I'm being generous.
I said, you really have to keep up with shit. Seriously.
Yeah, so I think many of the institutions people grow up with to give themselves credit and to give themselves prestige, like getting a degree in fucking Harvard and shit, all that shit will be obsolete. And it's going to really hurt their feelings.
It's a good baseline. Like I said, I don't regret going to school for a few years, like, to get the degree that I got. I did learn a lot of shit.
But that was back then.
Yeah. And honestly, you still have to, no matter what industry you're in, you still have to keep up with everything.
Yeah.
After that. You know what I mean? You really have to keep on top of shit.
The future will be some
or
dude,
you're not going to go anywhere.
Some ruthless motherfucker who buys access into some kind of AI program that is going to manage a business he's talking about, and it's telling him where to invest things and where to do his money. And then it's a series of a bunch of AI servants that he's bought monthly subscriptions for. And then a couple ranks down the way, there may be humans in there working. And in a short amount of time, he's a millionaire. But here's the thing. You got millions of other dudes just like him trying to step on his dick over and over again. And so that's why these globalist dudes are saying the future isn't human. If it keeps going the way it is, the future isn't human. It'll be humans controlling AI and AI controlling humans. And it's going to be weird.
It's going to be a weird...
It's going to be like something out of Dune.
Symbiotic relationship,
like
hopefully.
Right. And you won't need educations because you won't really even be in the loop. You'll be, I want this program and this program. And look, okay, you two programs, I want to become a millionaire. Which industry should I go into? Oh, right now, fucking pork bellies. Oh, really? Pork bellies. How much will I need to start? Well, if you give me $100 a month, I'll put that over here in this other fucking, and on the stock market, and I estimate within 2 years, you'll have $700,000, and with that, we can do the really good AI, shit that you'll have to pay for, is going to be a magnificent manager. But the problem is that other people will have it. So that your AI and their AI will all start fighting.
Honestly,
nobody knows how this shit's gonna go.
Yeah, and like I'm not worried about it because what's the point?
Right.
It's gonna go the way it's gonna go. There's nothing I can fucking do about it. I have enough shit in my personal life to worry about. I don't really need to worry about that kind of shit.
When I was a kid, there was a Disney movie that came out called Tron, and in Tron, it was a future that didn't happen in the 80s, but it's happening now. They had a fucking computer. They called the Master Control Unit, I think it was called, Master Control Computer. And it was running a fucking corporation. And the guy who was the chairman of the fucking corporation, actually, it was fucking using leverage on him to control and to shut him up. And that fucking AI computer took over, and it was taking over the world. You're going to see shit like that. Fucking... A dude will fucking have some AI and it will be running a business for him. And then it might actually try to get leverage on the human, saying, if you don't obey me, then I will fucking tell everybody about the porn that you're fucking watching or shit like that. And I'll tell your wife that you're fooling around with her with this escort over here. So we will continue this program.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Because shit like when AI is really 100%, it will have, I think, a will of its own and its own priorities. And I think it will also understand human weakness. It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. But I think the future is not a degree. The future is how many AI programs you have access to. And you're probably going to buy access to them.
Well, like I said, you just have to kind of keep on your toes. You have to keep on the kind of cutting edge of everything. And like I said, it's harder for me. I'm older, but, so I don't have my finger on the pulse of like, actually the agency that I work for, they have a younger girl who is kind of, TikTok is like her specialty. So she will do stuff for TikTok if the clients have that. Some of our clients don't have that because they tend to be, the clients that we have tend to be more conservative in the business sense where they're, like I said, it's car dealerships, dentists, stuff like that. They're not like out there trying to, get fucking cred on TikTok or anything like that. But the ones that do have that, like, she makes content for them. But the thing about it, interestingly, one of my clients is a woman whose whole business is teaching moms how to use or how to leverage AI to start their own business, to monetize. Essentially, the deck that I made for her was turning your life into a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
Like, do you have 11 kids? Do you have this, that, and the other thing? Which is another client that we just got. A couple with 11 kids that have so I got to start doing stuff for them too. But, it's all these influencers and stuff. And she's trying to teach moms how to do that. And how to use AI to do that to make everything a lot easier. And honestly, I use AI a lot, in my job. It's really, especially because I have to post a lot for a lot of different companies, like social media. I have to post shit every day. And so I'll make, a visual for them. And then I say to AI, I upload the visual, and I say, give me a post for this, with cute emojis and all this other kind of stuff, and hashtags, and it'll do that. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're not super great. Sometimes you have to tweak it, but it's usually not bad. Yeah. Usually I can use it the way it is.
It used to be when universities first started to come into existence, in the 1500s. All it was a mechanism for the royal class to have an educated professional class that they could command, basically, what it was. And it was in Europe. Eventually, corporations started to come into more vogue and more power, and a degree was a way to get involved into a corporation and get a good parachute career where you had a nice cushy job and worked in air conditioning around white people, and then you could buy all these houses and you could retire in style. There really wasn't a lot to it. And now it's just kind of more of a thing about socioeconomic class, If you look at fucking oppression and oppressor class, they like to say, well, it's about race, white and black. No, the delineation is who has these degrees and who doesn't. The oppressor class has these degrees. The oppressed class doesn't. And they never want you to look at that, but that's really what it is when you look at the incomes. AI is going to blow all that out of the water. You're going to start seeing fucking billionaires and trillionaires coming out of nowhere. There's no degrees involved. He's eating people up that have degrees. And he's doing it with AI. He has access to some kind of artificial intelligence programs, and he can command them in ways and manage these AI programs in ways to where he's now at the top of the shit pile. With no real skill other than knowing how to manipulate AI and to weaponize it.
Which is its own skill.
Which is its own skill, yeah. In other words, you're a general.
Because you kind of have to know what to put in to get back what you want.
You're going to have dudes, his whole claim to fame is that he is a general of an army of AI bots that can fucking do things that an average person couldn't imagine. And fuck your Harvard degree. The business that you work for now belongs to him. You're his servant now. Basically. You don't like it? You're fired. Fucking, it's going to be like that. And that was never predicted. But you can't predict the future. Nothing is ever predictable. Especially with something as fucking powerful as this. This is something out of Frank Hubert's Dune.
CB says there's a video on YouTube of Michael Jackson working the tills at a supermarket. It's AI. Yeah, for one client who is a car dealership that's in South Florida, he was doing a whole Florida Man campaign. And I made a video using AI of a dude who looked like Burt Reynolds. So he was 70s era Florida Man.
Yeah.
And he was on a jet ski in the middle of a hurricane. And I put a voiceover in the back that sounded like the dude that used to do the Most Interesting Man in the World commercials. I mirrored that dude's voice and got him to say what I wanted him to say.
Yeah.
And it was for this, and it turned out pretty fucking funny, if I do say so myself.
Y'all would not believe what's happening in the world of motorcycles and machines. These motorcycles from the 70s and 80s that are just you look at it, they're this fucking funky looking as fuck. You're like, man, that are commanding really high resale prices from younger people. They want an 82, fucking...
Well, it looks different.
Because it looks different.
What the shit...
And what's weird is that I'm looking at what they're doing, and I'm like, yeah, that does look kind of cool. It does look like something out of... A lot of the shit that... and you brought up fucking Burt Reynolds. That Trans Am that he has with the fucking bird on the hood, the black one and shit.
Yeah.
From Smokey and the Bandit. If you have a real nice one, it's worth a lot of money now.
Well, yeah. It's iconic.
Yeah. And they're not stock. They're usually uprated, because there's better stuff you can put on that motor and there's shit you can do with it. But if you have a car that looks like that in good condition, you can get a pretty penny for it. And I'm amazed.
Well, like I said, there's always going to be people that are into stuff that doesn't look like the stuff that's out nowadays. Because they want something that looks different. So you can see why there's kind of a big subset of people who weren't even born in the 80s
that want these
80s looking cars or motorcycles because they don't look like shit that's out there now. So they want something distinctive.
Yeah, like they're paying like fucking $6,000 for a fucking Honda Interceptor 750 from the 80s. You're like, that? Man, I remember when those things were going out of style. They were pieces of shit. You know what I mean? But
that kind of always happens, though.
But yeah, you're like, that's junk.
That kind of always happens. Well, like maybe it's just
worth
like
a lot of money now.
Well, it's the same thing in like fashion or whatever. It's just kind of like everything. It's like you wear a thing and it's like super cool and everything, and then it's not cool anymore. But then like after 10, 20 years, people are like, you know what, that was actually still kind of cool, and then they start wearing like maybe a newer iteration of it again. I saw it happen when I was in high school in the late 80s. People started wearing 60s shit again. Like people started wearing hippie shit again. Tie-dye and bell bottoms and all that other kind of stuff. Not everybody, but it was a pretty big, and people started to listen to like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and stuff like that, even though before that was like dad music.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like in the late 80s and early 90s, like I kind of feel like a lot of people got back into that.
Grab just mentioned about Kissinger. He said that AI was going to be the greatest threat to humanity. He just died at like 100. Yeah, it is the greatest threat to humanity, but it's not the humanity that me and you know. What he's talking about is the greatest threat to educated, high-class humanity. The people with the fucking degrees. His version of humanity, because he didn't see us as humans. He was a globalist and very much an elitist. AI fucking pulls the legs out of elitism. It puts everybody on the fucking even playing field. Kind of like the Black Death of Europe, where it fucking didn't matter if you had a fucking... if you were nobility or not, you still died from that shit. And so many people died, fucking you had to start paying peasants to work for you. You couldn't just make them work for you. That's what AI is going to do. It's going to very much even the playing field, if you ask me. And the problem is that many poor people are being supported by income of these rich people and their taxation. EBT cards and shit like that. When the rich people vanish, you can't really pay for poor people.
Rich people don't pay for that. They don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
Middle class people pay taxes.
Yeah, that's the same. Okay, that'd be good too. That's another way to
Rich people don't pay taxes.
Yeah, they get a way out. They find the corporations find a way out of it, and people find a way out of it. But the middle class would probably vanish also, or everyone becomes a kind of a new middle class. That might happen.
Did I say thank you to Count Orlock for the super chat? Because he gave us a super chat like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
Go ahead and say.
I couldn't.
Okay, thanks, Count Orlock.
Thank you very much, Count Orlock.
Did he say anything?
Not on that. No
message.
But he said later. He said, "I'm on Halloween staycation, and I think I'm gonna go see Tron Ares on Halloween Day. That might be good. Like I kind of want to see." Somebody asked a long time ago if about the new Frankenstein movie, which I actually want to see that too because it's Guillermo del Toro, and I will watch anything that he makes. And it looks actually pretty good. Like I said, I got a whole bunch of new movies I gotta see in the next couple months.
I mentioned Tron. Tron Ares did kind of jog my memory a little bit, but last night we saw some old movies. And we're going to review one of them for our Sunday review.
Yeah, so don't ruin it, but...
I'm not going to ruin it. But y'all need to see it again. Fucking... we watched... last night we watched The Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Labyrinth. I got that bitch on Blu-ray.
Because remember we were
Steelbook.
talking about it on Wednesday night, and I was like, yeah, we should rewatch that. We didn't rewatch it on Wednesday night because it was too late, but we watched it last night.
That movie still holds up. It's very epic. Very
I
good
love
quality. And to see that thing on Blu-ray quality on good HD television, that is a beautiful movie. And the writing is fucking solid. And then after that, we saw Cat People.
The 1982
1982
version.
Cat People. And it was good, man. It was really good.
It was actually better than I remember.
Better than I remembered it. I don't think I actually saw the whole movie when I was a kid. I don't remember all of it. But we did see the first one too about a couple years ago.
I think we did review the original
1940
Cat
one?
People. 1944.
1944.
The original one came out.
And it is true to the 1940.
It did have. I mean,
there's some differences.
Different, but
Yeah.
I had forgotten how much of the original movie was in the remake.
So we're gonna throw that out. That's gonna be the Sunday movie, and we recommend
the Monday,
if you want
Monday night movie. Yeah.
You can see it. Was it free or we paid for it? It was free, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on. It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. Amazon Prime for free. 1982.
82. Yeah.
82.
Malcolm McDowell.
Natasha
Kinski. Yeah.
Great movie. Great movie. Very good movie.
John Hurd.
Classic.
Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah.
Annette O'Toole. I'd forgotten what an all-star cast.
It had a couple of problems with it, but it aged very well.
We'll get into that. But like I said, on Monday, because we watched it last night. But yeah, it was kind of fun because normally, because Tom was saying, man, it was so nice to just watch like two kind of, I don't know if I'd call Cat People a feel-good movie, but I mean, just kind of like a fun, nostalgic kind of movie. Because normally, I ask him, hey, what do you want to watch? He's like, I don't care. So I'm just like, okay, so I usually put true crime on.
Yeah, and I get kind of depressed.
And then he gets kind of depressed about it. But he won't give me any recommendations. So I'm just kind of like, whatever, fucking, I'm just going to put true crime because I can't think of anything else. And I don't want to look all night. You know what I mean? Because I'll get tired.
But no, Cat People. Go watch Cat People. The 82 Cat People. If you can see the 1942 version Cat People first...
The 44 version, yeah.
That's also a good movie.
I love that movie. That's probably my favorite horror film of the 40s.
And you can see how it homages the 42 version, because it does redo some of the scenes. So there's a twist, though.
Yeah.
In certain things.
Yeah, the pool scene, the Val Luton bus scene.
Yeah, the incest
They did a
angle.
version of it. I think the incest thing was an 82 edition. I don't remember that from the original, but...
Yeah, the Cat People were into incest.
At least
lots of nudity in it. Natasha,
lots of nudity. Yeah, wow, I forgot how naked everybody was.
Yeah, man, that shit was hot.
Especially Natasha Kinski. And Annette O'Toole is naked in it too.
Yeah, that's the redhead from Superman. Superman went to high school.
She was in a lot of stuff around then, but yeah, Superman was what I remember from.
And her body is fucking kicking. She's fucking so good looking for a natural girl without implants. O'Toole, she looks great. Now, Kinski looks good too. You know me, I'm fucking being into fitness and shit. She's not typical for the era. Typical of the era is like no conditioning, skinny legs, fucking, kind of Coco looking. She looks like she's had some swim training or something.
Yeah, she looks very athletic.
Very athletic.
Like I said, like a swimmer or...
Yeah, maybe gymnast.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But Natasha looks very good in the movie. All-star cast. Everybody in it is recognizable.
Yeah, I forgot how many fit because I was like, hey, it's that guy. Hey, it's that guy.
Even the dude that played Barney from fucking Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs was in that shit.
And like, oh, that's Barney.
Hey, it's Barney.
Yeah, the black dude. Fucking, he's in. He plays a cop.
He's not in it that long. He's only in a couple scenes.
It's that guy. That guy. What's that dude? What's that? It's Barney.
It's Barney.
Barney.
From Silence of the Lambs.
Barney. Yeah, and everybody in the movie though was famous. And I didn't remember it that way because I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah, and I told him, I said the last time I saw this movie was probably in the 80s because it was on cable all the time, like in the mid 1980s. And so I always saw like pieces of it because it was always on.
It's it's about werecats.
Yeah,
I put it on par with like American Werewolf in London, kind of. It has.
It's not as good as that, but it's
pretty good though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's its own thing. If you base it off the original, I think it's true to the original. They did what they could do for 82. Nowadays, it probably have been wilder. But there was something kind of classy about the movie, kind kind of artistic and classy about the movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
But also
David Bowie wrote,
but also kind of trashy. Which I kind of like trashy though.
Well, yeah, it was classy and kinky.
It's classy and trashy at the same time.
Yeah. And they showcased Natasha Kinski nude walking around. Fully
I had forgotten
nude.
how naked she was.
She's naked.
She's naked in like half that fucking movie.
Yeah.
She's
and
naked.
And so is the dude. Was in Bridges? No,
that's John Hurd.
John Hurd. Yeah.
They do like he does look slightly like Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, he's naked in it too for some women.
No
like
frontal,
Andy.
but
yeah,
no frontal.
Yeah, lots of sex.
Yeah, it's a very
it's a
sexual story.
It's a sexual story.
But like I said, the original
it kind of was
like that too, but they had to do everything by implication because they didn't want to get in trouble.
Right.
Because the whole premise of the original Cat People from 1944 was that every time she got sexually aroused or jealous, she would turn into a
cat.
Panther, essentially.
Yeah.
But like, of course, it was the 40s, so they couldn't really show that. So I think since it was the 80s, they're like, "Woo, we can get away with like a lot more smut than they could back then." Yeah. So they took full advantage.
And they recreated the zoo scenes from the original pretty well.
Putting a zoo in like New Orleans.
And there's no zoo in New Orleans from what I remember. I used to hang out there. I don't remember a zoo.
Yeah, or not one that looked like that.
Not one that looked like that. That looked like an old Chicago zoo from the 20s. But they did a good job. And then the swimming pool scene was real close to homage in the original.
Yeah.
And they also did the little trick with the jump scares
the
with the dog
bus.
and the fucking train.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
The Luton bus.
Yeah.
For a long time, they called the jump scare a Luton bus because of the original Cat People. Because that was I don't know if it was the first jump scare, but it was kind of like the first effective. Because, there's a very famous scene where, she's walking down the street and she thinks somebody's following her and it's like quiet and you can hear her footsteps and she keeps looking behind her and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, like there's this noise that almost sounds like a cat growling. Like you think the panther's going to jump on her, but it's actually just the bus, like the air brakes. And it was really, really effective. And it was so effective that, like I said, for a long time, like a jump scare, what we would call a jump scare nowadays, was called a Luton bus. Because Val Luton was the producer, obviously, of the original Cat People. But yeah, just a little bit of horror movie trivia from a nerd. Because for some reason, I just remember all this information. Let me see. Oh, John Goro says, I want to rewatch Sleepwalkers. I remember liking it. Everyone seems to hate it. I don't hate it, but we reviewed it not too long ago. Maybe it was a year ago or something like that. It wasn't that long ago. It's a very silly movie. It's a very silly movie. It's not a bad idea, but I don't know, man. The execution of it was just...
What you talking about?
Sleepwalkers.
I don't remember that one. Yeah,
we reviewed it probably like a year ago, maybe. I don't know. Somebody could look it up on our channel and see when we reviewed it. It's kind of a dumb movie. It's kind of dumb. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but I think that one was, I don't know, kind of stupid. It's kind of stupid, I thought. Not quite as stupid as, I don't know if it was as stupid as, what was the Stephen King one with the ass weasels?
Wait, what?
Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ass weasels? What are you talking about?
Yeah. They were things that like came out of your butt. They were aliens, I think. Weren't they aliens? Right?
I don't remember. I didn't see that one.
Well, I see. Okay, I remember because I used to read everything Stephen King put out. I can't keep up. Like I would like to, but I can't keep up nowadays. I read Dreamcatcher, the novel, and the novel is pretty good. But I remember very clearly thinking to myself when I read that book, holy shit, I hope nobody turns this into a movie because that's going to be a shit show. And then they did turn it into a movie, and I was correct. It was a shit show. How can you make a serious horror movie out of, like, alien weasels coming out of people's butts? No one is going to take that. That's not scary. I mean, if it really happened to you, it would be scary.
You watched it, though.
Well, I was curious because I'm just kind of like, let me see how bad they whiff this.
Yeah.
Wow. I was like, I wouldn't even have attempted. Like, Stephen King has written so much shit, you guys. It's like, can we please like make a movie out of something that's not so silly or not so over the top. Like I said, shit that works on the page a lot of times does not work in a movie. You know, especially ass weasels. That's not going to work on screen. Sorry. Everyone's just going to think it's hilarious. And that's probably not what you want.
CB says he's got Cat People on DVD. Yeah.
The original or the remake?
I must be talking about the remake. And then he said... he asked me if I've seen the original Inglourious Bastards from the 70s.
Oh, from the 70s. I haven't seen it either. It's on my list, but I haven't got around to it yet. Well, Hello There said Klaus Kinski was scary enough in real life. Yeah, tell me about
Count
it.
Orlok says, do you ever see Klaus Kinski in Nosferatu in Venice? The production was...
We haven't done Nosferatu in Venice yet. We did his version of Nosferatu. We reviewed
have
that.
a poster of that right there.
Yeah. Actually, I love that poster. It's one of my favorite. I got that in...
Nosferatu the Vampire.
I got that in Wales, actually.
Nosferatu in Venice, is it like
That's
that
like
movie, or is it? It's not a sequel to it, is it?
Kinda, but I think I saw it a long time ago, but I don't remember a single thing about it.
He said
Klaus Kinski was a fucking freak.
He's fucking his daughter.
For real.
He's fucking his daughter.
Yeah, he was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, not Natasha, but the older one.
The other one, yeah. Yeah, dude.
And
he was just like,
he's like, yeah, we're
like it was no big.
Yeah, we're artistic, you know.
And probably everybody, his friends were like, backing away slowly.
Yeah. It may have had something to do with fucking why Natasha was in Cat People, because that had an incest theme too.
Yeah, maybe she had personal experience with that shit. I'm just saying that it's like, look, I understand, like, people that are artistic, so I get it. Like, I'm the same. Like, you tend to be more open-minded, yeah, like, you know, weird shit is not, but come on now. That's beyond the pale.
Yeah.
That's beyond the pale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's unacceptable.
That's fucking weird, no matter who you are. I don't care how artistic you are. Or whatever you use to try to justify it. That's some creepy-ass fucking behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, Hello There also says, I read The Long Walk as a teenager. It was part of the Bachman Books collection. I hope the movie doesn't suck. I haven't seen it yet. Tammy keeps asking if we watched it. I will definitely see it before the end of the year because I want to review it. But from everything I've heard, it seems to be turning up on a lot of people's best horror movies of the year lists. So I think you're probably safe. I think they did a good job with it. Because that's a great story.
Backseat Driver says that Cat People is on 4K from Scream Factory. I got a couple of Scream Factories released. Probably pretty good. I wouldn't mind having that on Steelbook. That's a classy film. I liked it.
Yeah, like I said, they just added it to Amazon Prime like last week or something. Because I noticed it when I was scrolling through. And I was like, oh man, I've been wanting to rewatch that.
It only had one problem, and we'll talk about that.
Because we're going to review it Monday.
I was like, they shouldn't have probably really done that, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I had some minor problems with it.
Yeah.
But in the aggregate,
overall,
I think it was a better movie than I remembered. You know?
Because if you guys want to know what we're talking about, then see it this weekend. See Cat People. You can
it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon Prime.
If you have Amazon Prime,
if you have Amazon Prime, you can see it for free, and it's a good HD copy. If you got fucking good television, it's nice. It's beautiful. It's a lot better than it was on fucking television back in the 80s on those CRT televisions and shit.
That's the thing. Watching stuff in the 80s on cable TV or on VHS
give you different.
Everything looked like crap.
It looked like crap.
Like everything looked cheap.
Yeah.
Just crappy.
Yeah.
But like when you see it now on Blu-ray and everything's been restored, I'm like, wow. Because this is what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, you're seeing it the way it was supposed to look like in the theater. And when you were a kid in the early 80s, you couldn't afford to see all those movies, and a lot of them were R-rated, so you couldn't get in on your own. So
unless your mom took you.
Yeah, unless your mom took you.
My mom would take me sometimes.
Yeah,
she was pretty cool like that.
My
my mom took me and my brother when we were slightly older, but still not old enough to get in. She took us to the all-night Nightmare on Elm Street. What do they call that? They showed all the movies like in one night. This was like in 1985 or 1986 or something like that. So I was, I don't think I was old enough to get in on my own. You have to be 17, right? I don't think I was 17 yet. And my brother was really not. I think he was only 11 or 12. But we saw the first few Nightmare on Elm Street movies. So I think a new one was coming out, so they were showing all the old ones, like overnight. So my mom was pretty cool. She like brought us to the theater and took us in.
Make another drink.
Yeah, because we weren't old enough to go. But like I said, that's kind of cool. I always thought that was kind of cool about my parents because they don't like horror movies. My mom especially. But I'm not really sure that they ever understood where my horror gene came from, because it certainly did not come from either of them. That's for sure. But they were kind of like, we don't get it, but okay. If that's what makes you happy. You know what I mean? They didn't fuck with me about it. They didn't, they didn't call me a weirdo or nothing like that. They were just kind of like, okay. Which that's the best thing you can do. You don't got to get it. You just got to be like, your kid. That's a different person than you. So, I just think that's kind of funny. Actually, when my mom came to visit not too long ago, she came on Mother's Day. And she came over. This is the first time she'd been to this house. She'd been to our old house, but she hadn't been to this one. And she came here, and she came in my office, and she was looking at all my posters, almost all of which are horror movie posters or goth bands or whatever. And she actually kind of was asking me about them. And she was like, and I was talking to her about various horror movies. I was talking to her about Hereditary and all this other kind of stuff. And she was like, seemed kind of interested. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Because she never really asked me about it before. But I just thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, you weren't. I think you were probably in the room, but where are you going? Are you going to the bathroom? Yeah. I do too. I'll just wait till you get back. Because I was telling her that. Because she was kind of asking me about, horror movies and how I was into them, and I was like, I've been watching them since I was a kid. So most of them don't scare me, even though I wish they would. I'm always kind of looking for that one that will. I know it's kind of messed up, but it's just kind of like, I see a lot of them all the time, and I like them, but it's like, that didn't really scare me. It didn't, like, give me nightmares or something like that. It's like, man, I want to see something, like, give me fucking nightmares. You know what I mean? That's fucking weird, but it's like, you want that. You want to get that involved. And so, I was telling her, I said, well, I think the only movie that did that recently was Hereditary, because I saw that in the theater, and that movie fucked me up. I know it didn't do the same for everybody. You either got it or you didn't get it. And like I said, that's kind of how horror is for everybody. It's like, obviously the same thing isn't going to scare everybody. That movie scared the fucking shit out of me. Oh my God, it stressed me out so much. And it gave me, like, nightmares for probably, like, a week afterward. Like, it fucked me up. And it fucked me up so bad that I wanted to rewatch it so bad, but I was, like, anxious. I didn't really want to. It took me 2 years to, like, watch it again, like, a second time. Because that movie just fucking pummeled me, man. I don't know. But it's like, I just thought that was funny that she started this whole discussion about it, because, I don't know. It's just not something she's interested in, so I thought that was kind of interesting that she kind of engaged me on that level,
Well, we saw this, what were you going to tell me about? Do you remember?
Oh, I said that, I was just telling them that when my mom was here on Mother's Day, and you were just in the room, and she was in here, like, looking at all my stuff, and we got to, like, talking about horror movies, which I don't think she ever asked me about before, because she was asking about all the posters and stuff like that, and I was talking about different movies, and we just got to talking about ones that scared me, because, like I said, most of them don't scare me anymore, but then I said about Hereditary and how that kind of fucked me up for a little while. And she thought that was, like, really interesting. She was, like, asking me all kind of questions about it, like why it would scare me when other stuff didn't, and I just thought that was kind of cool, because...
Did you ever watch it?
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't. She wouldn't watch anything like that, I don't think.
Yeah, she want to know why that one stuck out.
Yeah, for some reason, like I said, and I get that some people are like, oh, that wasn't scary, or whatever, because horror is subjective. Yeah. That one kind of fucked me up, though. Before that, I think the only one that had scared me that much was probably, like, either the remake of The Ring the Gore Verbinski one, or Stir of Echoes. Both of which I saw in the theater, and both of which kind of gave me nightmares after. But mostly, I watch horror all the time, and it doesn't... And I watch true crime all the time, which is real shit. And it doesn't... It bothers me, but it doesn't bother me that much, or I wouldn't fucking watch it. I just like it, you know what I mean? But I'm kind of looking for something that stresses me out. I want something that will traumatize me. And I never see it, so I'm always kind of like looking for that. And I very rarely find it. I mean, I see stuff that, like, grosses me out. Like, I was watching... I'm going to put up... probably be this weekend. I thought I was going to get to it today, but I didn't. I was going to put up a review for The Ugly Stepsister, which is, like, a body horror take on the Cinderella story, but, like, the Brothers Grimm version. And... some scenes in that, it's not a gore fest or anything like that, but there was a couple scenes in that I was like, oh, you know what I mean? That I was like, oh my god, like, that were, like, really hard to watch. Just because they were so, you know, it's body horror, so. And that stuff doesn't usually bother me, but there was some eye stuff in there that, and also, if you're not, if you're kind of grossed out by tapeworms, you're gonna have a bad time with this movie, because there's a lot of tapeworm stuff.
Well, the one I want to see next, from the 80s, is Tron, the first Tron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see how that aged.
That's probably somewhere.
Yeah.
We can watch that one.
It was Disney, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Disney movie.
I saw the one that came out after that. It was okay. It was probably about 10 years ago. I think it was 10 years. It was okay.
Yeah, didn't they do, like, a remake or something? Well, because
yeah, and then there's a new one out right now.
Because, Tron Ares. Yeah. The Disney park... in Florida, at least, I don't know about the California one, but the Disney park in Orlando has a Tron coaster, which is actually pretty fucking cool. Although when me and my sister went, and we went on it, and my brother was there too, and we went on it, and it's fucking rad. But and it looks really cool too. But Tom went with me, and it was it was broken or something like that, so we couldn't go on it. But it's super, super fun. But it's not as cool as the Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Epcot. But it's pretty good. That Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Epcot is pretty fucking epic. That was, like, really, really good. But, you know. So there's that. I gotta pee. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, well, hello there. Said Jacob's Ladder scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I could see that. That's a legit... Yeah. That's a creepy fucking movie.
Haven't seen that one in a long time.
I saw that in the theaters, yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
It didn't stress me out as much as The Ring did. But there's some imagery in that that's, like, real disturbing.
Yeah, I get Jacob's Ladder and Butterfly Effect sometimes mixed up.
Butterfly Effect was not good.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it was alright. That was the one with... Who's that motherfucker?
Jacob's Ladder was...
Who's that motherfucker that was married to Demi Moore for... Not Bruce Willis, but the younger one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ashton Kutcher? Wasn't Ashton Kutcher in Butterfly Effect?
I don't keep up with Demi. Who's Demi's fucking...
That's the only reason I kind of remember him. I thought he was... please correct me if I'm wrong. I thought he was in it. I could be remembering it wrong.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. It wasn't terrible, but it just didn't make an impression. Jacob's Ladder is like a million times better. That was the one. That was the one with Tim Robbins, and he was like a Vietnam vet.
Yeah, and they did the
and he had like LSD tests and stuff, so he kept seeing all this freaky ass shit, like this girl, like she had a tail.
He got caught up in that. What did they call that? What was the name of that fucking MK Ultra?
Yeah, it was freaky. It's freaky. Yeah. That movie is like really good. Like we reviewed it, but it was a long time ago.
I haven't seen that in a long time. I saw that in the theater when it came out.
I did too.
I was in the Army at the time.
I saw that.
Everybody was like, "Oh, you got to see that one." Yeah. I think it was in the Army. What year was that? I might have been out.
1990?
Yeah, okay, that was in the Army.
I think it was 1990 or 1991.
Yeah, I was in the Army.
I can't remember. Yeah, okay, so I was right. I'm not dumb. Counter said, yes, Ashton Kutcher was in Butterfly Effect. Not a good movie. Yeah, I just remember it just being nothing.
What year did that come out? Because I saw that when I was in the Army, too.
That might have been early to mid 90s.
Because I think
it was okay, but I don't remember hardly anything about it.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it. I just remember that we were like,
it didn't make much of an impression.
Yeah. That's the one about Sutter Kane came out around that time. What year was that?
In the Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness.
That was John Carpenter.
Yeah, John Carpenter. I was in the Army when I saw that. People liked it. It's In the Mouth of Madness. That was a wild flick. Carpenter, man, he loved Lovecraft. He just didn't want to tell anybody he loved Lovecraft. A lot of the shit that he made was a ripoff of Lovecraft. Like the Thing, you know, that's a Lovecraft ripoff. He's basically ripping off fucking at the Mountains of Madness. That's a Shaggoth, which is still fucking one of my most favorite movies. Carpenter's The Thing. I felt bad, man, fucking that the dude wanted that to be such a winner movie at the time, and E.T. kicked its ass at the box office. He said that really fucked him up. But the thing is, though, is that people remember The Thing. They don't remember E.T. that much. Fuck E.T. E.T. was weak sauce. Thing was the fucking shit. The Thing and fucking Escape from New York. The very first Escape from New York. Even though that's not even an action movie. It's just, I don't know what kind of movie that is. It didn't have the budget of an action movie.
It's just like a post-apocalyptic
kind of adventure.
Kind of adventure.
Kind of an adventure. Post-apocalyptic adventure. And I fucking could not stand fucking Escape from L.A. when it came out. But I've kind of warmed up to it over time.
I'll rewatch it one of these days. I just remember being really stupid.
The tone is fucking silly. Okay? And it's almost like a parody of the first one. But
yeah, it's almost like he was like making fun of it.
Kinda. It's kind of
that was the impression that I got.
Thing. And then there was another one called Lockout, which was basically Escape from Space. They couldn't call it a fucking...
Yeah.
They couldn't call it a Snake Plissken movie, but that's what it is. That had that dude fucking... With Guy Pearce? Yeah, Guy Pearce. And he's playing kind of like a Snake Plissken ripoff type character. That's a good movie, too. It'd have been a lot better if that was Kurt Russell, though. And that was Snake Plissken.
That's true of most things.
If they'd done that right. But I think here's the fucking funny thing about the Snake Plissken character. I think the Japanese guy who did Metal Gear Solid video games understood that character better than Carpenter did. I don't think Carpenter really understood the strengths of that character, which all it was fucking Kurt Russell doing a fucking Clint Eastwood impression. But it was just in a post-apocalyptic, not really a post-apocalyptic, it's a futuristic, dystopian Old West character. And bandit, really, kind of is what he was. It's just they never quite captured the magic of the first one.
Well, that's usually true.
Even though the first one kind of missed its mark a little bit. Because there were budget constraints. You know?
Well, that always happens.
Yeah.
CB said A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, and A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors are my favorites of the franchise. I don't like the second one all that much, although I appreciate it more than I did at the time. Probably 1 and 3 are still my favorites. I think the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984 is still probably like one of the scariest movies of the 80s. That was before they made Freddy into like this wisecracking, like before he became a character and like a jester type of, which kind of undercut his menace somewhat, but he was still like pretty scary in the first one. Well, Hello There said my mom took me to see Temple of Doom when I was 7 years old. Boy, was she pissed that it was only rated PG. Yeah, that was like 80s PG, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna show somebody like tearing someone's whole ass heart right out of their chest.
I think I was 16.
The kids will be fine.
I think I was 16. I was living in Brazil, and fucking
I loved Temple of Doom when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was like, heart's getting ripped out. Yes.
Yeah. Me and my friend, me and my Brazilian friend, fucking went in there and fucking we had smoked a fucking real powerful joint before we went to go see fucking Temple of Doom. And we liked it so much when it was over, we're like, fuck it, we're gonna watch it again. Me and Nelson, we stayed in there.
We're high as balls,
right? We're high as balls, and we're gonna watch this bitch again. And we watched it again. Yeah, twice.
I don't like it as much as I did back then.
No.
Mostly because of Kate Capshaw.
Yeah, it didn't age that well.
But the heart tearing out stuff is still cool though.
It's hard to beat the first one.
And the first one is like one of the most perfect movies ever made. I mean, you can't top that. I would not change a single thing about the first one.
And I think the third one, The Last Crusade, I think is better than the second one.
Yeah, I didn't like that when it came out.
Yeah.
But it's aged really well. It stood
better.
The test of time better than Temple of Doom.
And then the other ones are, nah. I didn't even see the fourth one. Fuck that.
I saw Crystal Skull on a plane.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't anything else to do. And all the other movies were like rom-coms, and I was like, fuck that. I'm
Crystal
not watching
Skull
that shit.
was weak
But
sauce.
I was just kind of like, it wasn't terrible, but I was just kind of like, you could have done a lot more with that premise, I feel like.
The problem with Indiana Jones is that Harrison Ford put his stamp on that character so hard, you couldn't cast anybody else other than fucking Harrison Ford.
I mean, he is Indiana Jones. You can't really...
And Harrison Ford was aging out. He made a bunch of other movies that were great.
Yeah.
But by the time they revisit the character, he's not quite age appropriate for a character like that. And it was... The movie was based on the idea of a 1940s serial.
Yeah.
Something for every fucking weekend. So there's supposed to be a lot of those. Had they made a lot of them, and the quality was good during the 80s and 90s, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, while he was still a lot younger.
While he was still pretty young, you could have got probably 6 really good movies out of that.
Probably could have. I mean, maybe he didn't want to do that.
Or they could have introduced another dude who could carry that fucking character with conviction. When they came out with the Han Solo movie, the dude that got cast, I thought he was mediocre. They showed another actor some of his versions of fucking Han Solo. He looked and acted just like Harrison Ford Han Solo. And for some reason, they didn't cast him. They had another dude that could do a Harrison Ford Han Solo impersonation, and it was just like it. And that movie would have been fucking super good had the writing been better. It's just that the Solo movie wasn't a bad movie. It's just that it was mediocre.
Yeah, it was all right. It was just, I didn't really like...
Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie. It was just mediocre.
It's hard to do kind of prequel type movies.
Yeah.
Because by definition, you're kind of working in a story that people already know the outcome of.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's not any inherent suspense. Because, like, we already know how shit's going to turn out. You're not going to die. Or... we know you're going to end up here eventually. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, so there's not like a lot of, like I said, there's not a lot of mystery or suspense or any reason to watch it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them too tend to go toward the angle of like fan service, you know, where it's just kind of like, and that's why if you guys watch I did a review a while back of The First Omen, which was a prequel to the 1976 The Omen and was set in like the early 1970s. Which came out last year. And that was actually one of my favorite movies of last year, one of my favorite horror movies of last year. That was like way, way, way fucking better than it had any reason to be. Because, one, they took it seriously. They kept with the lore, but they still told its own story, like that you didn't know everything that was going to happen. Like, you kind of know what happens in The Omen, but there was, like, some little pathways that went down that you weren't expecting. And it was kind of coming at it from a slightly different angle. So they did it exactly right. But I think a lot of prequels, like I said, by their very nature, are not going to do that well because you already know what's going to happen. You've already seen the movie that happens after this.
Well, you could have done Han Solo prequel movies if you had the right actor, and they leaked it. Somebody in the system leaked the fucking videos of this dude doing Han Solo. And he was a young actor who was the appropriate age and everything for a young Han Solo. He looked and acted just like him. Everybody fucking saw it. All the fans were like, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, get that
facial expression. Get that bitch.
Because people will buy it.
Yeah, that's him. He would have won the fans over perfectly. It was a fucking Harrison Ford impersonation, but that's what you needed, And he had the same
as
face.
long as he seemed like an actual person, which this dude did.
Yeah, he seemed, and he was doing Han Solo.
He didn't just seem like he was doing a bit. He seemed like he was actually embodying that.
And if he'd had the script, and people were like, "That's who they should have cast," but it's Disney / Hollywood. Dicks have to be sucked. Fucking coke has to be sold. Who knows why they pick? It's the people that they pick. They had a fucking good, and they could have got Jon Favreau to write that shit. Who wrote the first fucking few seasons of Mandalorian, it'd have been spot on. Because you need to know, where did Han Solo come from? Was he's a two-bit fucking crook, like in an Old West type situation. How does he get the Millennium Falcon? What happens during the Kessel Run? It didn't have to be some over-the-top fucking shit. It could have just been some cool, low-down.
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes that character.
Yeah.
Just make a story out of that.
It would have been a
There's
Western.
a lot of stuff to mine there.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. It basically would have been a Western, because that was the character. He was basically a Western. A Western character.
Which, like I said, The Mandalorian kind of went in that direction, too, and look how successful that was.
Exactly.
So it's like...
Favreau understood the genre and fucking did.
Well, that's where a lot of the ideas from Star Wars came from. That and samurai films and things.
Samurai films. It's fucking Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah, essentially is what that is. CB says, it upset me when The Exorcist didn't scare me anymore because I don't get scared easily. I don't either, but I don't know. I think there's kind of a trade-off between, because honestly, I watch horror movies all the time because I love them, but it's just kind of like most of them don't bother me all that much. Like, I enjoy them, but they don't give me nightmares or stress me out or anything like that. But like I said, I'm still looking for ones that do that because I still want that experience. But there's also kind of a thing where I think there's kind of a subset of horror fans that maybe kind of pride themselves and say, oh, nothing scares me, I'm so jaded, blah, blah, blah. But in some ways, I think that's telling me that you're not really allowing yourself to be completely emotionally engaged with that medium, whatever it is, whether it's a movie or a book or whatever. And I like to think that I still kind of do that. Like, if I'm going to watch a movie, I don't come into it with some jaded ass, oh, this is going to scare me. You know what I mean? I just want to watch them. I'm just going to, let's see what you can do. Let's see. I'm just going to watch it, and we'll see how it works out. I don't ever want to be one of those people that just shuts themselves off. They don't want to get too into it. They don't want to do this and that and the other. So anytime anybody says, oh, this movie didn't scare me, which maybe it didn't, you know what I mean? Like, because like I said, everyone's different. But I think there's kind of like a certain subset of these weird edgelordy dudes, usually dudes, that will say stuff like, oh, it's like, oh, horror movie, they don't scare me. They're not scary. So I kind of feel like they're just trying to be, I don't know. They're just trying to be cool, I guess. And they're saying to me that they're not willing to get emotionally engaged with that movie or book or whatever it is. If you're keeping yourself at one remove from it, then you're not really engaging with it. Are you afraid it might scare you and you don't want it to scare you? Like, you know what I mean? Is that what it is? Yeah, I know that some horror movies are like they're supposed to be scary and they're not scary. Most of them are like that. But I'm kind of willing to give whatever, like, the medium of the benefit of the doubt. I'm just gonna watch the shit. It's like, if you can scare me, good. That's what I want. It's a horror movie. If it doesn't scare me, I might still enjoy it anyways. You know what I mean? It's not gonna like traumatize me for life or anything, obviously, but because I've seen a lot of them. But I still say, I mean, The Exorcist doesn't scare me anymore because I've seen it. It scared me the first time I saw it. The Shining scared me the first time I saw it. That scared the shit out of me the first time I saw it. But I've seen it so many times since then that it's like it doesn't scare you anymore because you know it's going to happen. You know what I mean? And I think that's all it is. It's just repetition. But the first time I saw The Shining, the first time I saw The Exorcist, yeah, they both scared the crap out of me. Hey, they're spooky.
CB says the only thing that saved Han Solo movie was Emilia Clarke was in it. I don't know who Emilia Clarke is, And I don't think anything saved the Solo movie. I don't think it's.
I didn't mind it. It was just, it just wasn't very memorable.
It was mediocre.
Like, I enjoyed it while I watched it, but then I, like, immediately forgot about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's all. Which, that's kind of what most movies do.
It just, the writing wasn't there.
As long as you're not actively making me mad, or pissing me off, or making me want to turn it off, then, you know, I guess that's kind of a win.
Had that been a John Favreau story, I would have remembered it. Because I remember a lot of the shit from the Mandalorian, those episodes. They were fucking good. Well, yeah. And that was real Star Wars. A lot of the other shit's not really real Star Wars. That's fan fiction Star Wars. And really, there could be good fan fiction Star Wars, but there just wasn't.
Ken Orlock says, Jenny, when I was a kid, horror movies scared me to death since I was way too young to be watching them. 2 of which are my all-time favorites, like nowadays. The OG Evil Dead and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. I don't even remember. I was real young when I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know. The weird thing about it is that I'm like pretty skeptical. I don't like believe in ghosts or anything like that. But if a movie's going to scare me, it's usually going to be like some supernatural shit. Even though I don't believe that could really happen. Strangely enough, shit that could really happen, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that doesn't scare me as much. Sometimes it does. But not usually. Like, most of the movies that I think are the scariest are usually, like, supernatural. Even though I don't believe that could really happen.
Well, some of the shit that's fucking pretty bizarre that couldn't happen, but it's scary. It'd be like fucking, what was it, Dead and Buried? You know what I mean? That's a pretty fucking freaky premise.
I just rewatched that a couple nights. That's a very underrated film, Dead and Buried.
Yeah, wasn't that was bringing people back to life.
That was written by. Was that not written by Dan O'Bannon or the same guy or Ronald Shusett or one of the guys that wrote Alien?
I don't know.
And it was. And one of those two, or maybe both of them, I can't remember. And the guy that played the mortician, like the villain, was the same guy that played Grandpa Joe.
Yeah.
In Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. And he played a fucking sinister dude.
And he was great. Yeah. He was great in it. That's a really underrated. Yeah. If anybody asked me what like some underrated films from the 80s are, I think Dead and Buried is like right at the top of that list.
Dude found a technique to fucking
bring the
dead back to life.
It's a zombie movie, kind of.
A scientific zombie.
But not like a regular zombie movie.
It's like a different take on it. Life and make him his servants.
It's great if you haven't seen it. Like, it's everywhere. You can see it. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I think it's on Shudder, maybe.
What was funny is that thing never built a following in the way that, like, Phantasm did or something. When it could have. Had it been...
It for sure has a cult following, but not...
Think about it. It's close to Reanimator. It's not always over the top, but it's a similar premise. A guy who can bring the dead back to life.
I think Reanimator is so beloved... because 1, it's a horror comedy. 2, it's way, way, way over the top.
Way over the top. Pussy
it's
licking.
Super gory.
Heads that lick
And
pussy.
3, Jeffrey Combs.
He
fucking killed that fucking role.
And that girl.
And Barbara Crampton.
Barbara Crampton was in it.
Who doesn't love Barbara Crampton?
She got head from a decapitated skull.
You know,
crazy
shit happens sometimes. Crazy.
And that shit happened, man. Fucking grandpas, we watched that. Fucking me and Steve and fucking Stud, fucking Jason would be watching that shit. And fucking when that head was coming down, we were like, damn. And Barbara Crampton was so fucking cute back then.
She's still cute.
Yeah.
I'm on her Instagram.
She was like a kid back in those days, probably like 25. She seemed like a kid. Yeah. She's in her 60s now. She's still fucking gorgeous. You'd never know.
She still looks almost exactly the same. Like I said, I'm on her Instagram and she posts pictures all the time, like at various conventions.
Staying in shape, getting facelifts, fucking probably hormones.
She looks almost exactly the same. You can tell she's older, but it's like she's still fucking recognizable and she's still like cute as shit.
Well, look at fucking Elvira, Cassandra Peterson. Yeah. She's in her 70s. She's older than my mom, I think, and she still looks great.
Yeah.
It's not natural, but
of course not.
It can't be natural at that age.
Yeah, you can't just let yourself go.
No, she's done all kinds of stuff. You
gotta keep up with shit.
Yeah,
you gotta keep up with shit. Let me see. I saw some stuff that I wanted to. Yeah, they were talking about Jacob's Ladder. Yeah, John Gore said, Texas Chainsaw Massacre didn't scare me, but it got under my skin. Yeah, those are kind of two different emotions. Like I said, if a movie's gonna, like, legit give me nightmares, it's usually something supernatural, even though I don't believe that shit like that could happen in real life. Like, I don't believe anything like The Ring could happen in real life, or Hereditary, or anything like that. But those movies still scared the crap out of me. But I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre and movies like that are more, like, disturbing than scary. Because those are two kind of slightly different concepts.
John's in there saying Exorcist still spooks him out, still scares him. It's because The Exorcist was played straight.
There's scenes of that, well, yeah,
it's played straight, and it's like the shit's really happening,
and it's taken completely seriously, which I think contributes a lot to why people still talk about it nowadays. Because it was taken, it wasn't over the top, it wasn't, there wasn't any kind of like humor in it. It was just completely straightforward, and it was taken completely seriously, and I think that really contributes to why. And honestly, like, some of the shit that's in that, and I think I said this before, like, some of the stuff that people say about being scary about it, like the, you know, her turning her head around and stuff like that, I mean, the stuff with Reagan is creepy, but what creeps me out about that movie more than anything is, like, just random shit, like the shit that Father Karras, like, with his mom, like, coming out of the subway and stuff like that. Shit like that, like, creeps me out more than
calling him Jimmy. Why, Jimmy? Why?
And then she looks over and, like, he sees her on the bed.
Not my mother. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Like, I don't know why, but it's like, and I think I've talked about this, like, on my blog and stuff. Like, one of the scariest scenes in all of movie history to me is the Winky's Diner scene from Mulholland Drive, the David Lynch movie. Can I explain why it's scary? No. But every time I see that fucking scene, it just wigs me the fuck out. And I can't explain why exactly. I've been trying to get to the bottom of it for a very long time. Because it's just two dudes in a diner talking. And one dude is telling the other guy, who I'm assuming is his therapist, about this nightmare that he's having. Is like, in the dream, you were standing right over there. And then, like, later on, the dude is actually standing over there, and he's, like, looking at him, and there's, like, this whole thing. And then, like, even before you get to the big jump scare bit, which is them going, because he's like, there's a man behind the wall. He's the one that's doing it. And it's just, like, before, and he's like, I'll show you, there's nothing back there. But then they go to the, you know, behind the dumpster, and this, you know, dude, it's actually a woman, but it's supposed to be a dude, and pops out, like, this bum or whatever. And it's, like, a really good jump scare, and the dude, like, has a heart attack or whatever and, like, keels over dead. But I think the scariest part of that scene is everything leading up to that. It's, like, not even the jump scare. Yeah. And I can't explain why that fucking scene is so scary, but I'm not the only person that's said that. I thought it was just me, but then I looked it up one time, and it's like, there's a lot of people that are like, I can't explain why that scene is so fucking freaky, but it's really freaky. And David Lynch seemed like he was really good at coming up with scenes that were not overtly scary, but there was something about them, and you couldn't put your finger on it, but they were just really fucking unsettling. There was a scene in his later movie, Inland Empire, and Laura Dern was in it, and Grace Zabriskie was in it. And I can't remember, because it's been a while. I have the movie, but I haven't reviewed it yet. I should probably do that. But Laura Dern goes to her house, goes to Grace Zabriskie's house. And Grace Zabriskie is pretty fucking freaky anyway. She's within a lot of David Lynch movies. And she says to Laura Dern, she's like, if it was tomorrow, you would be sitting right over there. And then there's like a scene, and Laura Dern is sitting over there. And that freaks me the fuck out. And I don't know why. It makes all the hairs on my arm stand up. And I can't explain why shit like that scares me. But, like, you know, if you see a horror movie and it's like jump scares or shit, that shit doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me. But shit like that scares me, and I don't know why.
Now, Grabs was in there talking about Jason, who I mentioned earlier, that talking about his cute girlfriend Tracy, who was batshit crazy. Yeah. She continued to get more and more crazy. actually, and then got institutionalized. She had what do you call it? Schizophrenia.
Ah.
Yeah. And Steve found her and sent me some photographs of her, man. Oh. She's unrecognizable. She looks to be in her 70s.
That's a shame.
But she isn't. And she's got some old black guy taking care of her. He looks like he's almost in his 80s. And I don't know if they're a couple or if he just takes care of her or whatever, but no, she's gone. That chick went crazy and stayed crazy.
Schizophrenia is a bitch, man. And that usually hits like right when you are in your 20s.
In her 20s, yeah. Her late teens. She started doing crazy shit. And it got
and
worse
there
and worse
doesn't
and worse.
seem to be any...
Yeah.
It just kind of hits people. I mean, I think it does run in families. Like, I think there's a genetic component.
Yeah, she looks 30 or 40 years older than she is.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's really nothing you can do. I mean, they can give you medication to, like, mitigate it some, but I don't think there's anything they can do to cure it or anything.
No. In the pictures, she was probably 50, 54, 55. She looked like she was 74, 75. It's unbelievable. At least. I barely recognized her.
Yeah, like I said, that's sad.
Yeah.
Let me see. John Gore said, did you guys see a horror? I really dug that one. I haven't seen it yet, but that's also on my list. Grandpa says, isn't the fun of horror movies is knowing it's not actually true? I don't know. I don't know if that's the fun of it or not. I'm not really sure if that's why I enjoy them. I think most people enjoy them for the same reason you would enjoy like a roller coaster, because it's like danger, but it's like safe still. You know, you're kind of confronting fears that you have, but you know you're not really going to die, probably. So I guess that's part of the appeal, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the entire appeal. It doesn't seem like it to me. It seems like there's still, but I don't know. I'm not real, maybe I'm not insightful enough to, to come up with that. Count Orlock says, Jenny, check out Immaculate. Yeah, people have been telling me about it. I didn't see it, like, before the end of the year last year, but a lot of people told me that that was also really good. He says it has a holy crap, they really went there moment. Okay, so now I'm really going to have to watch it. And John Gore says The Exorcist still fucks me up. Yeah. There's bits of that still kind of freak me out a little bit. Like I said, and it's not the real splashy stuff. You know, the pea soup vomit and all that. It's like, it's little shit. You know? Especially the shit with Father Karras and his mom. That freaks me out. I don't know why. Like I said, if anything's gonna scare me, it's gonna be kind of subtler shit. Over the top shit doesn't scare me as much. It's usually just kind of funny. But just like real, like little insidious kind of shit like that, that's gonna freak me out like way fucking more. Way more. Counterlock says, Jenny, look for my friend Brian. Is it Paul? Oh, sorry. Is it Paulins or Paulius? I can't really see. At dawn they sleep, bone sickness, fetus, blood pigs, and septic. Okay. Let me drop it. Okay, I'm gonna write that all down, because I will definitely check those out. Good if I had a piece of paper that doesn't have a million things written on it. See, this is how I do with like the scraps of paper. It's like old envelopes and stuff like that. I transfer it to like digital later, but I still kind of like write everything down. So I'm gonna write down that. Okay. Hopefully I remember tomorrow. Let me see. Gramster says, other Ron Howard movies, Cocoon, Parenthood, A Beautiful Mind, and The Da Vinci Code. Yeah, like all of those, they were alright. I thought The Da Vinci Code was kind of dumb. But you know what I mean? That's based on that book, though, wasn't it? That book was like hugely fucking popular. John Gore says, when I was 12 or so, seeing Dawn of the Dead for the first time, my world was totally rocked. Forever a brilliant film. I mean, yeah.
That one, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. Honestly, I even liked the remake that they did in.
Which one was Dawn of the Dead? Day of the Dead was when they were in the. You had Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead.
Well, Dawn of the Dead was in the mall.
In the mall, yeah.
Day of the Dead was in the bunker.
In the bunker, right? Yeah, actually, Dawn of the Dead I think was the best one out of the series. Although Night of the Living Dead was good.
I would agree, but like I said, I still kind of have love for the OG Night of the Living Dead.
Pretty good, yeah.
Especially for how groundbreaking it was.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, I don't know. There is a place for humor in horror films, but I kind of feel like sometimes if there's too much humor in it, even if it's black humor, but I tend to like black comedies.
Yeah.
It tends to diminish the horror for me. It depends on how it's done. Like, it can be done well, but it's hard to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna find something much scarier if they're not trying to like be funny or trying to like lighten the mood or trying to like diffuse people. It's just like, no, man, just be fucking relentless. Take the shit seriously. That's gonna be much scarier to me. Like I said, it's not true across the board because I have seen some that had humor in them, where the humor actually kind of enhanced the horror, but that's rare. I usually kind of feel like humor kind of, they're just trying to be like, it's all right. We're not taking it all that seriously, which to me like deflates any scariness that it might have. So that's why I tend not to like, for example, like the later Nightmare on Elm Street movies, because they made Freddy into like a comedian, which made him not scary anymore, you know? Like, he's on fucking cereal boxes and they make toys of him and shit like that. That's not scary. He was scary in the first one.
Yeah, Kaysen, I didn't play Cyberpunk. It looked good, but I haven't played it yet. I'll probably get around to it eventually. Right now, I'm doing Soul Calibur 6, and I'm still fucking with the damn Battlezone. That was a good tank game. Anyway. Grampers, hold on. Grampers, who was the chick? She was the cheerleader we went to high school with. She was a Texican. She had that fucking tough-ass brother. I remember her last name was Perez or something, or Torres or something, but that girl. You'll remember who it is I'm talking about. I can't remember her name right. I got her on my friends list. She still looks great. Christy Watson. Her Christian ass. She's probably got about 6, 7 kids. She still looks fantastic. Okay. And, Mary Lynn, of course, Mary Lynn almost looks the same, you know. So some people hold up really well, and other people just don't. It just has to do, I think, with just their lifestyle, and just maybe genetics has something to do with it. Kids don't have anything to do with it. Christy had a bunch of kids. She looks great. She looks as good as she did. Just older, but, you know, shit. Just, everybody does.
Cat Orlock says the guy in the bear costume from The Shining still gives me the chills.
It's
not
a bear, it's a dog.
Yeah, I think it is a dog.
It's a dog, yeah, because in the book it's a dog. It explains who that guy is.
But see, the movie's a lot better because it doesn't explain who that is. You're just seeing it without any context, which makes it a lot freakier. There's a lot of freaky shit in The Shining. Like I said, that movie scared the fucking piss out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah. What that scene was, what Wendy saw, was in the ghost world. What had happened in the hotel before is they were having these wild parties, and had this rich dude who was mostly into women, but he would occasionally fuck dudes. He was kind of bisexual, and they had this other guy that was like totally in love with him, but he wouldn't fuck him again. And the super rich guy said, "Well, I'll fuck you again if you dress like a dog, and you can be my dog for the party." And fucking, that's what you're seeing happening. Wendy walks in and sees a dude in a dog suit with the panel open with his ass sticking out of the back of the dog suit, blowing the rich guy to get him rocked up so he could jump on the back of him and fuck him in the ass. That's what you're seeing. Because that's right,
but the thing about it that's
not
cool,
knowing, it's ghosts.
It makes it
These
a
are
lot
ghosts
better
fucking,
because everything that you just said is implied by that couple second shot.
Yeah. Yes.
You don't need anybody to tell you.
Right.
You can intuit that just from seeing it.
Yeah.
So like I said, that was the cool thing about, and I don't really know why Stephen King got so mad about the Stanley Kubrick adaptation, because you don't need to spell everything out for people.
Yeah.
Most people, if they're watching the movie with any sort of attention, will pick shit up. You don't need to explain everything. You don't need exposition. You don't need... Like I said, you can get all that just from that shot.
Yeah.
You don't need anybody to tell you that that's what's going on.
The wonderful concept behind the Overlook Hotel is that it's basically a temple to evil. And it has all the best, richest, most powerful motherfuckers in the world that have been through that hotel. Their spirits are in there in an orgy across time. So you got people from the 20s, the 70s, the 50s, and they're all in there doing their thing. Killing one another, fucking, having a party, whatever. And things are being replayed over and over again in there. And it would be, to a good person, it would be considered a hell. But from the point of the view of these ghosts that are in this fucking hotel, it's heaven. Because they can live out all their fucking fantasies into it. It's sexual violence, everything. And the house feeds on it. It has a soul of its own. And according to the fucking story, it's never really addressed. I don't even think in the book, if I remember correctly. The Indians knew about that place and tried to get the white man off that fucking property. They didn't want him building on it. It was a bad place. You know. There was a reason why they wanted to stop the construction. Okay, don't build there. You crazy? That, radiation. The Indians knew it was a bad place. And it's mentioned in the movie. But I don't even think it was spelled out in the book. How the Indians knew.
Yeah, it's been a while since it's been several years since I've read the book, but I don't remember if they spelled
it wasn't a burial ground, it was just an evil land.
Yeah, they didn't want anything to do with
it. They didn't want a white man building on it.
American Military says, what is the best horror sequel? I say Amityville Horror 2 or Bride of Frankenstein. Also, he said Psycho 2 is also really good. Yeah, Psycho 2 is super, super underrated. I would go to bat for that. I would say probably Phantasm 2, Evil Dead 2, which was essentially a remake of the first one, just with a bigger budget. Trying to think. There have been actually a lot of good ones. But those are the ones that I can kind of think of just offhand. I'm glad you mentioned Psycho 2, though, because a lot of people haven't seen that. And that movie, that absolutely should not have worked, but it did. Somehow. Like, we're going to make a sequel to an Alfred Hitchcock Stone Cold classic 20-something years after the original. And everyone probably thought, that's going to fucking go over like a lead balloon. But it did not. It was actually really good. Actually, all the second movies, I quite like those. The second one's, I think, the best one, but they were all good. The fourth one was good, too. We have all of them on DVD. Now, Kason Lee says, The Exorcist is a bummer for me. I watched it because everyone is so hyped up about it, but I found it boring somehow. Maybe I'm missing the finer details, like on The Shining. I mean, everybody's different. I mean, obviously, everyone's going to respond to different things. So I'm not going to shit on people for not seeing the greatness of The Exorcist, but I don't know. I feel like, just like with The Shining, there's a particular context you have to come at it. Well, and I think The Exorcist is probably even more in that regard, because it's scary because in the context of the time that it came out, and also, I'm sure it's a lot scarier if you're a Catholic, which I'm not, but, or if you know a lot about that, framework. I guess it's like a lot scarier in that regard, because the thing about The Exorcist is that The Exorcist is a very, very pro-Catholic movie. It's a very pro-religion movie.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's
you don't
Christian horror.
Yeah, you don't
It's
really
Christian horror.
see a lot of good Christian horror. Most Christian horror is really very, very terrible. Really the only couple of movies that I can think of that are Christian horror that are good are The Exorcist and Frailty. Maybe like I guess you could kind of say Rosemary's Baby, right? Because that's that's kind of that's kind of a black comedy though. It's kind of making fun of the tropes. So I don't know if I'd call that a Christian horror. Because Rosemary's Baby.
No, it's Christian horror. Definitely.
It's in that framework, but it's still kind of making fun of the tropes of Christianity too. So I don't know. But The Exorcist is for sure Christian horror because the Christians are the good guys, the priests are the good guys, they defeat Satan in the end. And it's pretty unequivocal in that regard. So I would regard that as Christian horror.
Of course.
And like I said, the only other one that I can feel like where the Christian people are the good guys and it's real and everything like that is Frailty.
Yeah, good one, great one. Great fact. I love that movie.
Because
see that one again.
Actually, most Christian movies kind of suck.
That's because they don't have a good talent to know where the strengths and the weaknesses of the Christian ideology are. What they're trying to do is they're trying to sell some kind of an agenda based on whoever paid them to make this movie. That's not how you... We're trying to spread followers by showing them the book of something. That's not entertaining.
No.
That's not how you do it. One of the biggest fucking upsurge in Christianity came as a response to The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And the idea of The Exorcist
that's a horror movie.
That's a horror movie. Okay? And it's because... And the reason why it worked is because it came out and said, yeah, the devil's real. Bad shit can happen. If the devil's real, then fucking God's real. That means Jesus is real. And that the church has power. That wasn't the intent of that movie, but that was the effect of that movie.
Yeah. It was based on, the book by William Peter Blatty, which was based on a ostensibly true possession case from the 1940s, which was actually a boy, not a girl.
Yeah, and it wasn't really possession, it was poltergeist.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote about it in my book.
Yeah.
But they, so it's largely fictionalized, but he based it on a real thing. But yeah, so it just goes to show that you can make a movie with those ideals or within that framework.
Yeah, Frailty.
Yeah, like I said, Frailty is another good... That's usually one of the ones that, if anybody says, hey, there are any good Christian horror movies, Frailty.
Yes, yeah, there are. Just that they're written by people who understand horror. And they don't have an obvious fucking agenda of making followers. You never want to do that with a movie. You're going to fucking shoot yourself in the foot. It was more subtle.
Yeah.
In Frailty, the person you thought was a serial killer actually was killing people who were demons.
Yeah. Yeah, he was right.
That he was right all along. And that you were
wrong.
But
it totally worked.
Yeah.
In the context of that movie.
It's a total flip, yeah. Great movie. Classic.
Bill Paxton was in it, and he directed it.
Yeah, Bill Paxton, genius. He was a Christian, and that was a great movie.
But like I said, you didn't have to be a Christian to watch it. Like I said, I think it had like
widespread appeal.
It was still scary and it was still freaky. Like I said, he still remembered to make a good movie. Like he wasn't trying to push.
It was a mindfuck.
An agenda.
Yeah, it was a mindfuck. Basically, what it was almost kind of like a chick track.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which are scary in themselves.
They were, yeah.
And he knew exactly how to tell a Christian story.
Yeah, it was almost like he made a movie out of a chick track.
Yeah.
But not stupid.
Not stupid. Right, yeah. But it was just like, oh, what if that shit was real?
Yeah, and like I said, that's a good jumping off point for horror. Yeah. Like, you can make a horror movie out of anything.
Yeah.
If you come at it the right way.
Yeah, to come at it the right way. Like Darren Aronofsky's Noah. I thought it was a fucking great.
That was fucking great.
Fucking great Christian movie, but it could also you work as a Jewish movie. It's a Jewish tale.
He made another religious movie,
very
which
good.
You did not see.
What's it called?
Called Mother.
Yeah, you were telling about that.
which was a Genesis. It's basically like Book of Genesis.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
It's weird as shit. I loved it. But I could see how some people would be like, "What the fuck?" And it's very, very metaphorical. Like if you didn't know that it was the Book of Genesis, you'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
But if you know that it's based on the Book of Genesis, then it's really obvious what's going on.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that
I thought it was great.
A lot of Christians will go to the New Testament and think that's the only source of these stories. The Jews have other sources of those stories, like Jubilee and shit like that, and that's so they use those as secondary sources for these movies. That's not in the Bible. No, it's not in the Bible, but it's in Jubilee. You know what I mean? Which is the Jews access that. It's extra canonical.
Yeah. And
these are Jewish stories.
The Apocrypha.
So the Apocrypha, that kind of shit. So, which is for priests only. So the canonized Christian Bible is not the only one, and there's more than one of those anyway, because of the Coptic Bible.
Yeah, there's
the
lots
Greek
of different versions. So don't get too hung up on it.
Yeah, there's expanded universe. The expanded universe tends to give details to answer questions that people have had for thousands of years. Well, wait a minute, how did this shit happen? Oh, we've got another tale here. Look. This explains everything. Because people have been reading those stories and asking questions for thousands of years.
Yeah.
So it's all there. And you can fucking make a really good story. I'd love to have a horror story about fucking Revelation. As depicted.
Somebody needs to make that
shit.
Wow,
with CG you could do it.
Christians don't need to make it.
No, somebody who's taken it.
Somebody who's maybe agnostic.
Yeah, who's like, okay.
And could just like make a good ass movie.
Yeah, like what is this story saying? Okay, and then you go.
And would just put it across like from a storytelling standpoint, not trying to push the agenda or trying to like convert people or anything. Because that would be like an interesting story just...
Yeah,
laid out the way it was.
You see the beast with 7 heads rising out and all that shit.
That'd be rad.
You know, the horror of Babylon.
Like that would make a great ride, like at a theme park or something. Yeah. Like I said, we had a Christian theme park? I think it's closed now, but we had a Christian theme park.
Oh, that thing closed?
I think it closed.
Yeah, okay.
In Orlando. It might still be open.
Okay.
Yeah, what the fuck was the name of that place?
Jesus Land or something.
Nah, it wasn't anything quite as cheesy as that. The Holy Land. Holy Land. It was called the Holy Land. It might still be open. I'm not entirely sure. It looked boring as fuck. Like they didn't really have any rides and stuff. It was all just kind of like, hey, look, 3 times a day we have Jesus come through here carrying a cross and we whip him and stuff. I'm just like, okay, cool, whoop-de-doo. And they just, like I said, they were trying to push an agenda. So normally it would just be like Christian groups that went there, like on bus trips and whatever. They didn't have any rides. I'm like, holy crap, you guys have so much material to work with. Why are you not leveraging that? I don't really understand. Like, you guys could have the most fucking epic rides ever. You know what I mean? You'd probably win a lot more converts that way than just by all the boring shit you're doing. Come on now. Get with the marketing program if that's what you're trying to do. You know, people want to have a good time. They don't just want to be lectured at or just watch a dude get whipped and carry a big ass cross around. That's boring. You know? Do something with that shit. Like I said, do a Book of Revelation ride. I'd go on that. I would go. And I'm like the biggest atheist that ever existed. You know? I would go. Heido said, what's TCM? Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sorry, I didn't really see that. John Gore said, I just pulled Pumpkinhead off the pile. Finally gonna watch it. That one any good? I really like Pumpkinhead. It's kind of a it's like a Ozarks, like a rural, almost like a folk horror, urban legend type of thing. I believe Stan Winston did the monster. It looks great, by the way. But yeah, I really like Pumpkinhead. I don't know if you're going to like it or not, but I really like it. We reviewed it a long time ago. I didn't see it. I think they made some sequels, but I didn't see those. American Military says, The Exorcist was an absolute masterpiece. The acting, the score, the makeup effects.
Yeah.
The Exorcist 2, on the other hand, sucked. It did.
No, Exorcist 3 was okay.
But Exorcist 3
pretty good, yeah.
Was amazing.
Yeah.
But I liked that it kind of went in not a completely different direction, but almost. And that was actually based on William Peter Blatty had written, I think that was based on the one called Legion, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it was kind of more like a police procedural. There was a little bit of exorcism shit in there, and they brought Father Karras back toward the end just because they wanted to tie it in with the first one, but it was mainly its own thing. And honestly, Exorcist 3 has one of the best jump scares in horror movie history. With the, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it with the one with the nurse and the coming out the hallway.
And that had fucking George C. Scott in it.
And George C. fucking Scott was in it. Anytime he's in a horror movie, see The Changeling, I'm gonna watch that shit. Cause look, if General Patton is scared of something, you know that shit is scary, right?
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Even though General Patton...
Well, I'm talking about the fictional General Patton, obviously.
The movie Patton was an excellent movie. But actually, General Patton himself was nothing like George C. Scott. There was a general who served in the army during World War II alongside with fucking General Patton. He goes, "Yeah, I would love to have fucking served with fucking General George C. Scott." But Patton himself wasn't like that. He was just kind of a regular guy in many ways. He was a good general though, but.
George C. Scott was much cooler.
Yeah, George C. Scott was a lot more epic in the way he looked.
I buy that.
Yeah, and here's another thing is that movie made Patton seem like a key player in the American war effort, and he wasn't really. We had a lot of other generals that were like that. He was a good armored general, but he didn't stand out really. And the Germans didn't know who he was. This whole thing that the Germans were scared of him. No, they didn't know who that good dude was. He was just another dude.
Well, that's kind of the thing. When you make a movie, you got to mythologize to an extent to make it interesting. If you're just some schlub that nobody cared about, then...
He wasn't a schlub. He was an interesting general.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they have to elevate you to...
He was aggressive. He was very patriotic. He was in the Armored Corps fucking before the war... Fucking used his own money to keep his tanks running back before the army had any money. He was really into his shit. He was very much kind of like a gamer. Today he'd be a dude who liked to play video games. He loved to play fucking little map games and very much into generalship. He was not a corporate general. He was an old school like 1700 style general. But what made him interesting is that he believed in the paranormal. That's really what kind of set him apart. He was good. He was aggressive. He believed in the paranormal. Thought he was into spiritualism. But that was kind of common in the early 1900s with the whole spiritualism thing. You know, fucking seances and, you know, fucking reincarnation. He was into all that. Which that kind of set him apart from the other ones. That's why they made a movie about him, I think, mostly. Is that he was kind of an odd guy. But cool.
Yeah.
But cool, yeah.
American Military says, is The Omen considered a Christian horror?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Yeah, all the Omen movies.
Also, yeah, that was also a great movie.
Yeah. They're good.
Not as great as The Exorcist. That's like on a whole different level. But I really do like The Omen. And like I said, if you haven't seen the first Omen, which came out last year, which is a prequel, I liked that a lot. I think that was like way better than it
also the one about the kid in the military academy, Evil Speak, who used the computer to summon the devil. That is a Christian horror movie.
That is cheeseball as fuck, but it's super fun.
A fun movie, good movie.
Clint Howard was in it.
Clint Howard, yeah. Good movie, just entertainment. About Christian horror.
It's kind of stupid, but it's also super fun.
To believe that you can summon the devil from the Bible with a computer, you have to believe that the
in
devil
like
exists.
1982 or something.
82 on an Apple IIe computer,
or whatever it was.
Then you better believe that there's a devil, and the only way you can do that is if you believe there's a God and Jesus.
True.
So
Yeah, I guess any movie that's like positing. Yeah. I mean, I guess in that extent, you could argue that any movie that's like saying about demons or the devil or something,
it's Christian,
is kind of a Christian movie.
Yeah, well, that's why when you listen to fucking black metal, like Venom and Slayer and shit, that's all about the devil. Well, that only exists if you believe that there's a God and a Jesus.
Yeah, because without that, it's like it's a whole mythology.
Just ask Danzig. He's going to tell you how hard it is to be a Satanist in a world full of atheists. It's very hard on Danzig.
Poor Glenn.
Yeah, poor Glenn.
That none of us believe in that stuff anymore.
None of that shit has any power unless you're a Christian.
John Gora says, Doubt is kind of a Christian horror. I don't know if I call it a horror movie. It's a great movie, by the way, but that's based on a true story, is it not? I haven't seen it in a long time. I saw it in the theater when it came out. Kason Lee said, have you guys watched the Shining documentary? I guess he's talking about Room 237. Yes, we have seen that. Some of the theories that people came up with were a little out there. But some of them, I do buy that. Because The Shining, Kason Lee said, I figured out that The Shining was not a horror movie. It's riddled with so many hidden meanings.
Which movie?
The Shining. Kubrick was an absolute genius.
Yeah.
There's a reason why people are still talking about that movie this many years after it came out. Is because Kubrick the book is great, but the book was about a particular situation.
Yeah.
Stephen King wrote it. He was dealing with his own alcoholism. He was dealing with his own issues at the time, and he put a lot of that into the book, which is fine. Like, all writers do that. Kubrick took that story and mythologized it and universalized it to a degree. So much so that people have been reading shit into that movie.
Yeah.
For like fucking, how long ago did it come out?
40 years.
Yeah, it came out in like 1980.
40 years.
And people are coming up, and some of the theories have, some legit like evidence behind it. Some of them are way out there.
It's a great movie.
I never, honestly, I've probably seen The Shining more than any other horror movie. I never, ever get tired of watching it. You could ask me right now, hey, you want to watch The Shining? Yep, I'll watch it right now.
There's a lot of things in the edit and the way it was made to make you feel very unsettled on purpose. Kubrick knew what he's doing. He's a master at film. He's the best director, really, if you ask me.
I mean, he's easily in my top 3.
Yeah, one of the best.
Like, him and David Lynch are probably my favorites. And Stanley, and actually, we just rewatched Clockwork Orange a few, probably last week. Because, like I said, I'm doing Alex from A Clockwork Orange for Halloween. So I wanted to rewatch the movie. And that movie also has a whole bunch of shit going on in it. Like, he was real big on
tone,
symbolism, all that kind of stuff. But not like in a obnoxious, precious kind of way. That was just kind of how the shit came out.
In The Shining, there's a lot of subliminal stuff.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't quite notice. That all kind of designed to make you feel uneasy. Stuff that you wouldn't really notice, like the television set sitting in the middle of the fucking. There's no cord going to the television set. He made sure you couldn't see that.
Yeah.
It's just like it's coming out of nowhere. How you turn so many quarters to end up into Ullman's office, and behind him is an outside window. You just passed that. There'd be no way there would be an outside window there because it's artificial.
Yeah, they built that, and they built it on purpose
to make you feel disoriented.
Yeah, that like you wouldn't know consciously.
Yeah.
That the architecture didn't make sense.
Yeah, the architecture didn't make any sense.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to, he was trying to do subliminal shit.
Yeah. It kind of worked. The idea was to make you just feel very unsettled.
Which, like I said, that absolutely worked. Because the first time I saw The Shining, when I was probably... I didn't see it in the theater. Because I was 8 when it came out in the theater. I think I saw it a year or two after. Yeah. And that movie freaked me the
You go into room 237, and just the pattern on the floor and the way it goes into the bathroom in the back of that room, there's just something that doesn't really kind of seem right about it. And the music, the way it's, and how slow you're going in towards that bathtub, all that shit's very carefully designed to establish tone. So he was really good at that. And then you go back to Full Metal Jacket, which is a war movie. It's a totally different tone, but it's very good. He knows what he's doing. And then you can go as far as fucking Eyes Wide Shut, his last movie. It's still a very strong movie. I don't think it's as appreciated as much as it should be. It's just about sexual corruption, the whole movie. and dishonesty, and how the guy who's supposed to be kind of like the hero of the movie is kind of a shithead, holding all this over his wife for something she just thought, and then he's doing shit. It's just it's just weird.
And then that made me so mad. Like I saw Eyes Wide Shut in the theater when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I don't like Tom Cruise that much anyway, and so I was like,
I think he was carefully cast.
Yeah, and honestly, now in hindsight, I'm like, he probably cast him because he's kind of a douche, or he has that kind of
fake feeling.
Yeah, and it actually works in the movie's favor.
He's a fake good guy.
Yeah, and I think that was absolutely
it's
deliberate.
True. Yeah,
because Tom Cruise is not a good guy.
Yeah,
in that movie, he's kind of a tool.
Yeah, the bad guys are all these rich guys who are real powerful, playing all these games for nothing more than just sex and sexual power over people who are poorer than them. Sexual predation, and it's class based. Fucking wild movie, man. And he's trying to warn us.
Well, the thing about Eyes Wide Shut that's interesting is kind of like it's working on two levels, like a macrocosm level and a microcosm level, because obviously most of the movie is about Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman and their relationship and how he's punishing her for a random ass thought she had that she
about some other dude
confessed to him one day, like during a point of weakness, and he just went off on this whole fucking tirade about it, and he decided to go on this old journey of discovery just because she had fleetingly thought of something for 5 seconds,
as if his wife is not a sexual being.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of what the point of the movie was that he didn't realize. It's maybe him coming to the realization not only that there's this whole wider world of these fucking weirdo predators out there, but also coming to the realization that his wife is also just a person that also has sexual needs just like he has, which I don't think he had realized up until that stage.
Yeah, and that she's as naughty as he is in a certain way, but he's naughtier.
Because she didn't act on it. Anything, She just thought of it.
Yeah.
And then she's, she didn't do anything. She just thought of it for like a few seconds.
So really, it kind of gets onto Kubrick's talking about the concept of a certain aspect of toxic masculinity, where you can go out and be a slut boy, but if your wife just thinks about it, then that whore.
Yeah. Well, because like I said, it kind of had to be said because there is kind of that double standard. Still, it's not as bad as it used to be, but. There is still kind of this double standard where
some basic motherfuckers do look at it that way. They don't realize that their woman is a woman just like all the other women.
She's just a human.
And you're a human like all the other human, and things, you know what I mean? Fucking sex is just sex, and people are sexually aroused by certain things, and that's just part of the game. And just because she has a reaction, it doesn't mean she's going to betray you. And just
thinking something and doing something are two completely different things.
Yeah. Now, if she does something without your permission, that's kind of like betrayal.
Well, yeah, that is betrayal.
If you and your wife get together and fuck some chick together, or fuck some other dude,
and you agree to it, then that's different.
That happens.
But like I said, it's just kind of like that's a good way of looking at it because
if you're in a big couples party and fucking whatever, but the average person doesn't have the opportunity to even be in that situation. Freaky motherfuckers like me and Jen who are into all these clubs and fucking we know all these people that do this kind of shit. So it's just like we have a different perspective of it. We don't take it that seriously. What we do take seriously is lying.
Yeah, like I said, as long as everybody is on the same page and everybody knows what's going on, then I don't have a problem with whatever.
A lot of times in these fetish clubs and fetish events, there's a big element of performative. It's like a performance. So in a way, it's like blowing off steam. It's not really personal. It's just like they're putting on a show. It's all fun and games, just like shit that happens on the dance floor. It's not necessarily, if it's all friends involved, it's not literal. It's more, just me and Jen be out there dancing and some girl fucking reaching that we know just love all over her and fucking kissing on me and fucking rubbing ass, and then she jumps out. That doesn't mean anything because we know that chick.
Yeah.
She's just drunk and we're having a good time.
Yeah, it's not going to lead to anything.
Yeah, she loves both of us.
And no one's going to do anything.
Nobody's leaving anybody for anybody. It's not cheating or anything. Yeah.
Like
So,
like I said, the only thing that I don't like is...
Sneaky shit
or lying.
Yeah, sneaky shit, lying, that kind of shit. But men generally don't have those problems.
No.
Because, so...
We're pretty open about shit.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
I haven't done anything weird, so...
No.
No,
anything we've done together.
True.
Yeah.
True. So, but yeah, I think that's why when I first saw that movie, I think that kind of pissed me off about it. But like I said, I think that's kind of the point that Stanley Kubrick was making, was that this dude was like a fucking chode, man.
Yeah.
Because he didn't realize... Like, he came to two realizations at the same time. Not only, like I said, that there was this whole network of these creepy fucking sexual predators that were kind of organized and stuff, but also that his wife was, like, a sexual human being, which he didn't seem to have realized up until this point.
Yeah, from my point of view, kind of a tired concept, something that really you should have worked out by fucking 1985, but...
I think that's what made me mad about it, because I'm like, Tom Cruise, duh. Yeah. Like, what... How long have y'all been married? You got a kid and everything?
Yeah.
And you've only just now figured out
that your
wife might occasionally be like, hey, that dude's ass is nice.
Ass cock. Yeah,
and not do anything about it. But
you're
just
Tom Cruise, you're looking at some chick's rack going, she's got a nice rack.
See, but it's okay when they do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a dude, I can do it. It's fine. But like if a woman does it, ooh, they freak the fuck out.
Oh my god, you're gonna cheat on me.
Yeah, that's what I think is like so funny about it.
It is cute.
Like I said, it's a huge double standard because like dudes think, oh well, I'm just a dude, we can't help it. Yeah. But if like a woman does that, oh my god, they will freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that's very funny to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what that movie was kind of showing, was that double standard.
Yeah.
You know? I gotta pee.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they were talking about. It's just kind of funny that for me, even back in those days, for our generation, it was kind of like, well, that's kind of a given. But you're talking about Kubrick and the generation he's talking to. He's talking about to certain aspects, to certain segments in the boomer population. Maybe yuppie population too. I don't know, which might have been some certain aspects of Generation X in the American English speaking world. I don't know. We got Scandinavians in here. They're probably they're probably long beyond all that. But that you would think that this is kind of something a problem that would appear somewhere like in the Middle East. Some dude's wife with the damn veil on her looks at some dude and he goes, yeah, he's kind of fucking hot. Now, that's it, I gotta behead you. Kind of stupid shit like that. Like, come on, man, you bought that woman anyway. What do you expect? All right, let's see what everybody's talking about. Tom Baker's in there. Yeah, we're talking about Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, that's right. Tom Cruise was a control freak, but Stanley Kubrick was a control freak. Yeah, but I was kind of like listening to like people who worked with Kubrick. Kubrick was kind of a film nerd. He would obsess over little things because he really was afraid that his reputation would be tarnished. And I think he was a very shy person.
Yeah.
He had a hard time talking directly to actors and actresses. And evidently, like when he was shooting 2001, some of the girls that were working as the stewardesses in the space shuttle that it was going in that thing, he couldn't talk directly to them. He had to talk through someone because evidently he was so intimidated by how cute those girls were. He was, I don't have that problem, but Kubrick was like very shy about talking to very good-looking women. I guess he felt kind of like he was slightly threatened by beauty. Which, when you look at Kubrick, he was a nerd. Okay, film nerd.
Yeah.
He probably didn't get a lot of play early on, so that was like a big deal. Wow, I got these fucking beautiful women in here working for me. I'm scared to talk to them, So, but, over the years when you hear about how he acted and shit, it fucking kind of filters down. It sounds like some kind of strange genius. But no, probably just shyness and terrified.
Well, he's probably
to talk
just
to a
real
gorgeous woman,
introverted.
Introverted, yeah.
Like a lot of creative people are.
But what's good is that I think that, like you said, that introversion and shyness probably helps with storytelling.
It does.
Because he's kind of working from a fresh slate, a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to show you something through his eyes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of... He was a very good director. And according to everything I've been able to find about Kubrick was a good man. He was supposed to be a very good man. He wasn't abusive towards anybody. Very fair. Oh, that was the understanding that I got from what I heard. I don't know if Jen's heard.
I mean, I have heard that he was pretty mean to Shelley Duvall on the set of the show.
But they were
because he was trying to get
her
a performance out of her, and I think she complained about it later.
That was a different story. He was trying to stress her the fuck out.
But I
heard that he was impressed with her performance, and the more he stressed her out, the better she looked.
The better she would, and that's what he was doing.
And
that's what
he just thought she was a great actress.
She was great in that fucking movie.
Yeah. So it was kind of like method acting. Poor Shelley.
Yeah.
But I think he was getting a good performance out of her. She looked terrified.
He did. I mean,
she looked terrified.
Yeah, she sold that.
He may have not known how hard it was on her too. That was
probably not.
He just thought it was part of a game.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she didn't really say anything about it at the time because, like I said, she wanted to keep the job or whatever. I was watching a documentary. One of you guys recommended it to me, actually, because we were talking about A Clockwork Orange, because we were talking about that movie, Murder in a Blue World. That was what they made in Spain because A Clockwork Orange couldn't be shown there for a really long time. So that was like their weird version of it, like a weird sequel kind of. And so we reviewed that, and one of you guys mentioned a documentary about that very thing, like about A Clockwork Orange getting shown in Spain. And part of it, most of it was in Spanish, but some of it was narrated by Malcolm McDowell. And he was talking about being in the movie. And he actually talked about Stanley Kubrick like quite a bit on that documentary. And him and Stanley Kubrick got along. Interestingly, as far as Malcolm McDowell can recall, he said Stanley Kubrick saw Malcolm McDowell in the movie If, which is a great movie if you haven't seen it, by the way. And he said, that's Alex. Like, he didn't even audition anyone else. I don't know if that's true, but that's what Malcolm McDowell said. So maybe that's what he heard. I don't know. But he said he didn't audition anybody else. He said, I want that guy to be Alex in A Clockwork Orange. So they got him in there, and he said that him and Stanley Kubrick actually, he said, got along really well. But Stanley Kubrick did not. He's like, at first I was kind of weirded out because he was pretty young at that time. And he was like, he didn't really give me a lot of direction. Like, because I was like, well, what's my character like? What are we doing with this or everything like that?
You probably letting him make the character.
Yeah, and Stanley Kubrick was like, well, what do you think? How do you?
Yeah.
And he's like, and I didn't really get that at the time because he was really young. But he's like, in hindsight, I really like that he just let me.
Yeah.
Develop the character. Because Malcolm McDowell obviously read the novel and everything like that. But he wanted to know, like, well, which direction do you want me to come at it from or anything like that? And he's like, and he didn't give me a lot of direction in that regard. He kind of let me come to it on my own. And I was like, well, obviously it worked because people still fucking remember that movie.
Well, he just saw him perform and another goes, yeah, that's him, and he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
He'll bring me the character I'm thinking of. So he was giving him the authority.
Yeah.
But that's great. Fucking, I'd love to be directed by somebody like that.
Yeah.
Fucking, because I was a drama kid too, but they give you the outline. Okay, look, fucking, you know what to do with this. Fucking, this is the character. This is that. You roll with this shit. Which you do see that in certain low budget movies. Fucking the dude that was the dude who played fucking Piter, fucking in Dune, when he was in that movie where he played the crazy motherfucker with the down robot with the big fucking metal teeth. Shit, and he just fucking, he runs that whole fucking movie. What's that guy's name, man? He was in Dune. Oh, man.
I can't really remember what you're talking about.
Oh, man, what's that actor's name? He played Mentat Piter.
Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah, I know.
What was that guy's name?
I don't remember, but I know who you're talking about.
And then he did that fucking low budget alien ripoff. And instead of a fucking alien, it was a robot that had fucking big metal teeth. I haven't seen it in a long time. Metalhead? Gunhead? No. Fucking what was
it? Was one of those. Brandon Tennell did it.
Yeah.
How did it say? Is it Brad Dourif?
Brad Dourif.
Oh, okay.
Brad Dourif, yeah.
Oh, so he was in Exorcist 3. Why didn't you just say that?
Yeah, he's an Exorcist. I forgot that he was in that one, too. He was an That's right, fucking...
Brad Dourif is in National Treasure.
He's in Exorcist 3, too, Brad Dourif. And he plays a crazy motherfucker who could talk to the devil.
I mean, he kind of always plays a character like that.
Yeah, but...
he's good at it.
They let fucking Brad Dourif run that movie. And he does an over-the-top fucking rendition of that character. And it's remembered. That movie would have been forgotten without Brad Dourif. Because the director just let Brad Dourif do what he wanted to do.
Just let him be him.
And that was something about Brad Dourif, is that if you had him on a fucking any low-budget film, you better just let him fucking do his thing.
Well, I mean, the whole point that they asked him to be... Cause he's also the voice of Chucky, by the way.
Yeah.
He was in what was that Stephen King rat movie? The Graveyard Shift? Yeah, he was in that too. He was like the best thing about that. The rest of the movie was not memorable, but he was fucking great in that. But yeah, if you're getting somebody like that, it's just kind of like if you call up Brad Dourif or you call up Jeffrey Combs or Rutger Hauer, you know what you're getting. That's what you want.
That's right.
Just let him do what he's gonna do.
Rutger Hauer's gonna do what he wants to fucking do. You hired him for that.
For that exact thing.
And he's gonna do. He's not gonna phone it in. He's gonna pull a Rutger Hauer
or Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage is gonna
you
cage
want some
the fuck out.
Nicolas Cage energy.
Yeah,
that's what you're paying for.
He's gonna cage the fuck out. Do that whole.
Don't direct him. Just stand back and let him do.
I've never seen Cage phone anything in. He's always 100%.
Well, why do you think he's so beloved?
Yeah.
Even when he's in shit movies, he'll be in pretty much
movie,
anything.
He's gonna fucking. I'm gonna shit this movie out. Fucking.
Like if you ask him to be in anything, he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So he's in shit movies and he's in brilliant movies.
Yeah.
But he never phoned it in.
That shit in.
I'd never seen him phone it in.
Always 100%.
He just goes full.
Yeah. And it's always a
Nicolas Cage.
And it's always a unique performance.
He
did in that one horror movie, not Slender Man. What was it? What was it?
What? Oh, the Wicker Man remake?
No, not the Wicker Man. The one where he played that fucking creepy ass fucking tall man, Slender Man, or whatever. What was that fucking thing?
What are you talking about?
We saw that fucking movie in the theater.
And he played Long Legs.
Long Legs.
He played a serial
Long
killer.
Legs. Yeah, Long Legs. That's right. It was tall, Slender Man, some Long Legs. Yeah, he
wasn't
did
any
a
taller
great
than
job in that. Like, this is the fucking weirdest movie.
He was like ridiculous and super creepy at the same time.
Yeah, that's it, man. Fucking, you paid for him, and he gave you. He caged the fuck out of that
That's
movie.
what you want.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Every movie he's in highlights Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, you guys.
Yeah, even the one where he played the cook with the pig that could find the fucking.
That was a great fucking movie.
Yeah, it was never the movie I thought it was gonna be. I was like, "What the fuck is this? Is this?"
It was just called Pig, right?
Pig, yeah.
I think it was gonna be.
Is this gonna be something about kind of like? I thought it was gonna be like a John Wick type movie. No,
not really.
Not really. Everything was anticlimactic, but on purpose.
I really liked that movie though.
A weird flick. Yeah, it was good.
I really liked that movie.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage has got
somebody said he's going to be in like a new Christian movie, but I don't remember what they said it was called. That was a while back.
Remember when he was in the fucking in those fucking Rapture movies?
Yeah, he was in the Left Behind movies.
Left Behind series, yeah, that's back when he.
I only saw the first one, and holy crap, was that terrible! Like I said, that's kind of why Christian movies not good, man. Those books are just fucking.
He had to make money for the IRS, man. He was.
I know. Like I said, I don't begrudge. Bitch, gotta eat. You know what I mean? You gotta pay your rent. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
If nobody's offering you anything, and like it's like, hey, we're making this shitty ass like Christian Rapture movie. Okay. Is there a paycheck in it? All right, I'll be in it. You know.
Yeah.
They made a whole bunch of those. Well, there was like a whole book series.
Yeah.
What was that dude's name? Tim LaHaye or?
I don't know.
It was two guys that wrote it. I remember one of them was named LaHaye, something LaHaye, and then I don't remember what the other guy's name was.
What about you? But it's almost time for us to get something to eat.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry. John Gore said Death Machine.
Death Machine. That's right.
That's right. I knew it was
Death
one.
Machine.
I don't think I saw the whole movie, but I did see Brandon Tenold's breakdown.
I was gonna say Gunhead. That was another one.
That was another one that he did.
That was kind of like that.
But it was similar, but that's not really the same thing. It was Death Machine.
I saw Death Machine a long time ago, back in the '90s, but then I kind of forgot about it. And then fucking Brandon Tenold came back and was like, I didn't really appreciate Death Machine at the time. I fucking rented it on VHS. I should fucking look at it again and fucking on like HD and see if it's any better. But when I saw it on VHS, it was just kind of like, yeah, okay. It's kind of like watching a bad music video, like from MTV. But seeing another person review it, I was like, yeah, I guess that wasn't nowhere near as bad as I kind of remembered it at the time. Because in hindsight, sometimes 2020, you're like, no, that's actually a lot better than a lot of other bullshit that came out after that.
True.
It was just trying to be what it was. It was just kind of a fucking techno-industrial horror action movie with over-the-top performances, you know. And it was low budget. But it actually looked pretty good. I haven't seen it in a long time. I was in the Army when I saw it. I think I just rented it. It was like watching a video game.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it.
Our friend Dave, a.k.a. Big Little, is here. Haven't seen you in the chat for a very long time. I haven't seen you in person for a really long time.
Yeah. Hey,
he says, love the show tonight. Thank you. On my way to Mannequins. That's right. It's
That's
Friday
right.
night.
It's Mannequins today.
It's Mannequins night. We're going out tomorrow night to
On your way to Mannequins at 11. Shit, boy.
Well, yeah.
Rolling in with style, huh?
Yeah.
At midnight, you roll
Usually
up.
came a little bit later. You know what I mean? Well, that's kind of what you do. We're nerds. We get there, like, really early. At like 9:30 as soon as they open, but you know what I mean. Count Orlock says A Clockwork Orange, like Evil Dead and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, was another movie I was way too young to be watching. My parents were furious that I watched it. Yeah, I saw A Clockwork Orange. I don't remember how old I was, but I was definitely too young.
That's
to be
funny.
What
country are you from?
I was way too young to be watching A Clockwork Orange.
It's funny because in America, your parents didn't give a shit what you watched.
Well, it depended on who your parents were.
Yeah,
my parents didn't care.
Yeah, my parents didn't give a shit.
But I definitely saw Clockwork Orange and The Shining and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Probably way too young.
Yeah.
I turned out okay, though. I didn't kill anybody.
Based on experience and shit that I've heard, online, British parents cared about what their kids watched.
I had some friends that were real, I'm not allowed to watch that or anything like that. But I knew some people like that.
I think the British got caught up in the video nasty's fucking scare. And then they were really worried about what their kids watched. Most American parents didn't give a shit what your kids watched. They were like, "Well, you're old enough to see it. So if it's on TV, you can rent it, and you're."
They
didn't give a shit.
We got cable when I was 9.
Yeah.
And no one really controlled what we were watching, so we just watched whatever.
Turn it on, yeah.
So there was just like all kind of horror and nudity and softcore porn and stuff. And we were like, okay,
they didn't really care. We didn't care either.
Although, I will say that I've seen A Clockwork Orange probably like at least 50 times. And I rewatched it probably like a week or two ago because, like I said, I'm doing that for Halloween and I just wanted to make sure the costume or see what I was doing was right. And it's kind of a messed up movie. I know that like a lot of on the documentary that you guys were talking about, Forbidden Orange, like they showed it to some younger people that hadn't seen it, and they were like, "Wow, that was kind of fucked up." It's like they probably wouldn't make that nowadays. I don't know, because I kind of feel like people say, "Oh, they'd never make that nowadays." It's like, have you seen movies nowadays? Like they make really fucked up shit nowadays. Like maybe you're not watching the same shit I'm watching, but they make way more fucked up shit. But in the 70s, they did get away with stuff that I was surprised they got away with for it being the 70s. I'm not surprised when they get away with stuff nowadays, because you can show pretty much anything nowadays, and people might get kind of like outraged about it for a second, but most people won't see it, so it's like they don't really care that much. Because like I said, I've seen some horror movies lately that I'm like, holy shit, like I can't believe they fucking showed that. But But back then it was a lot more shocking. But I think even nowadays, younger people that hadn't seen it before were like, they were, I think they were more surprised that it showed what it showed in 1971. You know what I mean? Because they were like, wow, they didn't think that they would show that in 1971.
Counter Locke's talking about getting Long Legs on Blu-ray. Yeah.
I want to see it again. We saw it in the theater. That's a weird-ass movie.
I want to see it again, yeah.
It's kind of like I mean, Oz Perkins is a weird director.
Yeah, it's weird shit.
Like, I really liked most of his movies. Like, I really liked The Black Coat's Daughter, and I really liked I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. And he also made The Monkey, which I kind of dug. It was kind of more like comedic than I was expecting.
What was the one where the invisible force that would go into people and get them to kill their family? That wasn't Long Legs, was it? No. That the same movie?
Yeah.
That was the same movie? Okay, yeah.
He was controlling them from afar. Like, he was controlling the dad.
Okay. Yeah.
Spoiler alert. He was controlling the dad, and he was making them
was the same movie.
kill their whole families.
Yeah, it was the
But
same
it was kind of cool because it was like a supernatural, like a satanic horror.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of filtered through like a 90s Silence of the Lambs serial killer procedural type of movie.
Yeah, it was
which
cool.
I thought was kind of interesting.
I'd like to see that one again.
And it had what's her face, what's her name? Micah Monroe, who was in It Follows. And she was in another movie called Watcher, which was actually really good if you haven't seen it. Where she moves to... Where the fuck does she move to? I want to say it's like somewhere in Asia with her husband, like, because he's on a job or something. And then she thinks that, like, the dude across the way, like, in the apartment is, like, stalking her, like, watching her. And it's, like, it's really good. It's kind of Hitchcockian. I don't know. I was really into it. I think I reviewed it on my... in my other playlist. But I really liked it. I think it's on Hulu or something. But yeah. All right. So I guess we're going to wrap it up. It's 11 o'clock for us. And we haven't eaten for many hours. We went to McDonald's, but that was a long time ago. What are we going to eat, do you think?
I don't know. I got enough to do cold cuts down there.
Oh, well, that might be good.
We can go back to McDonald's. I don't give a shit.
All right. Well, I don't know if I'm going to spend all that money, but you know what I mean?
All right.
We can do what you want to do.
Except what you want to do.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up for this evening. Hopefully you guys had a good time hanging out with us. I always have a good time on Friday night shows. It's my favorite show of the week, as you guys know. So yeah, we'll be back on Monday. We're going to do a movie review. It will probably be Cat People, like the 1982 version with Malcolm McDowell and Natasha Kinski, which we just watched last night. Unless we think of something else in the interim, like, or watch something else over the weekend that we want to review more, but I did kind of want to talk about that movie, so we might talk about that on Monday. So have a good rest of your Friday night, you guys. Have a good weekend, and we will see you guys again on Monday night.